Wait a minute. Hey, y'all. How come it's showing I don't have any viewers? Can y'all hear me? She's all that I want. Let's see who we got. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Jane. Hey, Scorpio Forever. Okay, now I see the viewers. Hey, Hidden Tower. Hey, Ella. Look, if you read the description, read the description. I have a warning in here. I have a caution. Let me just read it real quick. Wait a minute. Wait, I gotta find my description. I'm gonna have to wait till the room fill up a little bit before I get into this. But it might be kind of scary for some of y'all tonight. Hey, we got Don't Listen in here. We got Horn Siren. Hey, Ella. I'll be on my good side. And you kind of look like Jasmine guy. I'm sipping on it juice. Hey, Beverly. Hey, Cece. She's all that I want. We got 21 people in here. How'd you get in the room? Can you hit that like button? Because you know this is going to be lit. This is one of my, this is a new case study that I'm working on. And this is going to be the first topic. Actually, might as well change that picture because some of y'all people might be already a little too scared. So I'm going to switch that picture. Hey, Henry. All that I want. Yeah, I was just thinking some of y'all might have to sleep with the light on tonight due to what I'm about to get into tonight. She's all that I want. She's all that I want. All right. Let's see. We got 24 people. I'm going to wait till we get 50 people up in here. But shout out again to all the Pisces up in here, Pisces season. And this is really apropos for Pisces season, what I'm about to get into tonight. So let me just pull up a different image because that is kind of hardcore. I know some of y'all ain't about that hardcore shit, but I love hardcore stuff. Let's see. What's this one? We'll just put up that one just for now. This is more tame. And actually, it does deal with this word that I'm about to get into once this chat room fills up. Hey, Latima. Hey, Lilith. Hey, Jason. Hey, Naru. Yes, you might have to sleep with the light on tonight. Yes. That's if you scare easily. Hey, Sunny. Hey, Free Spirit. Hey, Justin. Hey, King Jason. All right, we got 34 people. Now we up to 38. Hit that like button because you know this is going to be lit. And again, like I said, for those that just came in here, this is a new Astrological Case Study Series that I'm working on. So I've already finished the first one. You already see the thumbnail, and if you read the description, you already know what it's about. So some of y'all are very familiar with this story. So I'm going to get into that tonight. Hey, Opus 642, make me think that's a bar. Speaking of bars, we're going to get into that too tonight. Hey, Latasha, I got your email. I'll respond later. Hey, Punja. All right, room filling up. We got 41 up in here. And if I get to, like I said, I don't have much time tonight. I do got a lot of stuff to work on. I know I say that, but I really mean it. So once I get done, and this is probably going to last like 2 hours because I do have a lot of information. Might be an hour and a half. But hey, Indigo. Thank you, Indigo. So let me just put that up there. Where you at? Thank you, Indigo. Did you get your root beer and your snacks and your blunts? Cause you're gonna need all that tonight for real. Everybody get your snacks, get your wine, get your yak, get whatever you sipping on. I'm gonna wait till after I get done to have I'm all out of root beer, but I'm gonna have to just settle for some Coke tonight. The liquid kind, not the powder. I don't get down like that. That's for y'all Scorpios though. Um, so we gonna also touch on like drugs and stuff like that. And I know somebody don't like when I get on the science stuff, but I can't help it. It has to do with life. You know, life has to deal with science. Astrology deals with everything. So I'm gonna be touching on several topics tonight. Indigo also said, "Child, I got an 8th house stellium. I love the dark, scary side." Yes, me too. I got that Scorpio midheaven, Uranus and Scorpio on the midheaven, and I got my Scorpio North Node. So I started off as a child being very afraid of the dark side, but being very fascinated with it at the same time. Like I was such a scary kid that I was scared of those masks in the National Geographic magazines. I remember one time my dad got a whole stack of them for free from the library. I must have been around maybe 5 years old at the time. And I knew like in those National Geographic magazines, there would be a lot of tribal people up in there and there would be tribal masks. So I used to be afraid of some of them tribal people with the paint and then the mask and all that stuff. And I would have nightmares about that stuff. Yeah, I was a scary kid, but I was intrigued by it. When Nightmare on Elm Street came out, and when the commercials came out for the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember the commercial was so eerie, and it started with the girls playing jump rope, and they was like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Y'all remember this? Sing with me. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. Yo, when that commercial would come on, I would have my hands over my eyes and I'd be kind of peeking out at the same time. But I was like, I have to see this movie. And yeah, but I was scared at the same time. And then once I kind of got over my fears, I started to become obsessed with horror movies. So then, like, I love all the horror movies from the 70s, especially, and the 80s, some of them from the 90s. Horror movies have gotten kind of whack nowadays. You'll be hard pressed to find a really good one. But yeah, I got a long list of horror movies that I love. So I do love being scared, but I do have my limits because I do understand that some of this stuff that we see in horror movies is real, especially the stuff on the spiritual end. And what's interesting is some of my favorite horror movies does deal with the spiritual end, where it's about the demonic, about, Satan, or about some type of ghost or stuff like that. Those are the horror movies that I like the most. The paranormal stuff, like Poltergeist, The Exorcist, The Omen. Oh my God, I love all that stuff. But I have my limits. So if you listen to my last live stream, I believe, we got 73 people in here. Hey, for real now. All right, but if you listen to my last live stream, I was talking about how I couldn't watch American Horror Story after the first season. I was like, that's enough for me. I'm done. That's a wrap. Because I understand that there's some real shit to some of this shit. Like some of this shit is real that they be putting in the movies and on these TV shows and stuff like that. So some of this stuff you got to take seriously, and it's not good to be exposed to everything, and especially on the regular. So now that we got the room nice and full and juicy, we're going to get into this. But first, I have to make an apology because during the last live stream, I totally missed out on a super chat reading. I totally missed you. And I hope you're in here now. So it was Nicole for everything. And Nicole posted a super chat and she had a question. So before we get into this dark shit, we're going to get into this super chat question. So let me just type it in. Nicole for everything, this is for you. So if you're in here, I apologize. I wonder if I put at, will you come up? Let me see. Okay, so you're not in here. Hopefully you'll see this live stream later. Did I say Nicole for everything? It's Nicole Forever Young. Forever young. Let me put it in all caps because that's how it is. I want to love you, PYT, pretty young thing. You need some loving, TLC to the love and care, and I'll take you there. Yo, one time I was singing that song recently, right? And so let me just highlight this. So at Nicole Forever Young, I'm about to do your super chat reading, but I was singing that Michael Jackson song PYT. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe Michael Jackson is innocent of those charges about him messing around with those kids. But I have to admit, I was singing that song one day and I was like, hold up, pretty young thing. Pretty young thing. What? Tender love and care. I was like, oh shit, that's suspect as hell. So I was like, Michael, that's not a good look. So I don't know. That was kind of suspect. What y'all think about that song? When you think about that song, Pretty Young Thing, if you believe that Michael Jackson is innocent, if you consider that song, does that kind of change your mind? I want to love you, PYT, pretty young thing. You need some loving, TLC to the love and care. Michael Jackson was a big horror movie fan. So Latima said he was talking about a woman. That's what I hope. I hope to God he was. But he did have a Leo stellium. Don't get me wrong. And that can be an indicator of loving PYTs. Either, just young, but still adulthood. But sometimes it can be even younger. So, yeah, I do believe Michael was innocent. I think he was so innocent that he didn't think about the consequences of having these young boys over his house and having these slumber parties. Because honestly, I believe that Michael Jackson was a big kid at the end of the day. I believe his development was arrested. And you could be the greatest performer on earth and still be a kid in terms of the mind. Think about it. Because he was a great performer when he was a kid. So that didn't take nothing. So, what was I going to say? That could be very Leo too. Somebody that's very childlike. So while he was a Virgo, he also had some heavy Leo energy up in there. And that explains why he was so childlike. Yes, he had that Peter Pan syndrome, all that stuff. All right. So let me answer Nicole for very young, forever young. Forever young. That's what it means. That was tripping me up. Nicole Forever Young. Got it. She said, will my son be okay in Florida with his dad, or should he come back to California? I'm so worried. Will he do better in Florida? So once I read that, Nicole Forever Young, that's one of the reasons why I watched the replay, because I want to see if I missed any super chats. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Nicole, because I know this was a concern of yours. So I'm going to answer your question right now. You said, will my son be okay in Florida with his dad, or should he come back to California? I'm so worried. Will he do better in Florida? Okay. All right now. This one. Okay, I know exactly what this is about. He needs to stay in Florida. I got the Page of Swords. This is something that he needs, even though it has you worried right now. So I'm going to put the Page of Swords up here. Even though it has you worried right now, you have to understand that this is the best. Page of Swords, that could be representing your son in and of itself. But when I look at this card with the deck that I have, hell, it looks like he's on a golf course with a damn golf club in his hand, and he about to just strike it out and hit that hole in one. So Florida is huge with golf courses. So, but just that Page of Swords right there is just saying, yeah, he needs to, stick it out. And basically there's something that, again, he needs to learn, he needs to develop. And this is something that his father can do for him. If he was meant to go back to California, a different card would have came up. So this is definitely pointing to his father. And also there's the water right there by that. Now I know California has, is bordered by water, but I'm seeing Florida all day up in this. But just to be on the safe end, because them pages can be tricky as hell. I'm going to pull another card for you. Actually, I'm going to do a 4-card reading because, again, I feel bad that I messed up I missed that. So we're going to do a 4-card. We're going to really get down to this. But I still see about what I said. I feel like he's going to do better in Florida again. Even if he's not happy about it right now, this is what he needs. Oh, I believe he was abused by Quincy Jones too, Scorpio, forever. There's this one video of him and Michael Jackson, and it just don't look right. It just don't. And Quincy Jones used to be a pimp. So here's the 4-card reading. So we got situation. So let me just put in here 4-card reading. Situation card number 1. We got the King of Wands. That's his daddy. Let me know if you see this, if he's a fire sign. Maybe Aries. Here's the challenge. Knight of Pentacles. And what this tells me is that the challenge could be just adapting to the new structure, adapting to new rules, because that Knight of Pentacles is about obedience. And that could be that maybe your son wasn't exactly obedient when he was with you. Maybe it's showing that he can be more obedient. Now, 3rd is the advice. And I got the 5 of Wands. That 5 of Wands card, that's masculine energy all day. This is a card where it can represent young males or, males like, how with boys developing, they have to be rough and tough kind of and like do that male bonding. Like that 5 of Wands, that's like a male bonding card. That's the best way to put it. Let me put that in there. This is a card of male bonding. This 5 of Wands. Also, it's a card of conflict as well. But like I said, for your son to become a man, he really does need his father. And that 5 of Wands is like showing that too. That's like when you think of that card, that's like a male, a father lion playing around with his cub and, kind of roughing him up a little bit. That's what your son needs. And then the outcome is the King of Cups. And what's so interesting is this really touches my heart, King of Cups. So that's showing that this is really going to be good for him at the end of the day. And your son probably will end up basically thanking you or saying, once he becomes a man, he's probably going to look back and say, I'm glad you sent me to go live with my father. So this is a good situation for him. Again, even if you feel torn. And I can totally relate to your situation because I had that situation with my son. My son lives with his father. And while and I was just talking to my son last night, me and my son, we were on the phone for 4 hours. I can talk. And my son is a Sagittarius, just like me. And he got Gemini energy like me. So we can talk for a long time. So there was some things that, he shared with me that just, kind of touched me in some way. And it kind of dealt with his father. And we kind of had a discussion about that. And ever since, he's 18 now, but for, I'll say 13 years of his life, it's been back and forth, me and his father with the custody thing. And me living on the West Coast, he living on the East Coast, it's always been a challenge like that. And it's been hard. So I could totally relate. And just not having your child with you, you are going to be worried at times. Even if you fully trust your son's father, it's just going to be that feeling at times you have. And it's going to take a while for your son to adjust. It might take a while for you to adjust. It might take a longer while for you to adjust than your son. But I firmly believe from what the cards say that this is good for him. All right. So hopefully you'll watch this and you'll get this reading. All right, let's get into it. Let me see what everybody's saying first. Somebody talking about James Ingram. Not James Ingram. He looked like an innocent dude. He looked like he don't, wait a minute. What about James Ingram? Oh, James Ingram wrote PYT with Quincy Jones. Oh. Yeah, I was just playing around. But no, I did kind of stop and I wonder. I kind of thought for a minute. Henry said, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Uranus in the 8th here. I'm not scared of the dark because I know I have light inside and outside to call on. God protects. My 8th house stuff is in Aquarius. Hate, fear. All right. Yes. Aquarians really don't scare easily, I find. All right, let's see. Scorpio Forever said, I think even The Devil's Advocate was a horror. That shit was so real, right? Especially when she was seeing the remember when she was seeing the demons in the women's faces? Hell yeah. VR Gay said, what about those magazines Michael had in his house? Please enlighten us, because I never heard about these magazines. So let us know what these magazines had to do with. Lilith said, a man calling you a pretty young thing is sexy. Now, I'd rather be called an old ass bitch. It's like, I'm just playing. Tyreek said, Jacko Wacko, just like what they called him back in the day. He was wacko with the insecurity. I will say that, messing his face all up. But I don't know. I still feel like he didn't do that with them kids. Because again, I feel like he was a big kid himself. And that was part of what made him wacko. Henry said, Michael Jackson was guilty. Look at the work with R. Kelly at the same time. R. Kelly was trying to marry 15-year Aaliyah. Wait a minute. Michael Jackson collaborated with R. Kelly? Refresh my memory on that one. My memory kind of dusty. Ray said, my mom used to tell all the neighborhood kids ghost stories. I was always afraid. I'm almost 50 and get a bit nervous, right? And you should get nervous. I don't think nobody should get totally comfortable with that other side. Lil said, nah, he was a grown-ass man. He was being inappropriate, even if he didn't realize it. As I would say he was being inappropriate having them kids over. And that's what I mean. I think he was so, mentally stunted in terms of his development that he didn't think about the consequences. Like, that looks suspect for anybody. I don't care who you are. Behavior placement said he was chemically castrated to keep his voice. I heard about that. Is that true? I don't know if that was just a rumor or if that's true. But I think Joe Jackson, speaking of Joe Jackson, Siobhan said, don't knock Joe Jackson. 8 snotty-nosed kids and 2 bedrooms, get to work. But I kind of think Joe Jackson probably molested all those kids, especially LaToya, because you know how screwed up LaToya was, especially Michael and LaToya. Both of them very screwed up individuals. And you notice how LaToya tried to look like Michael. Yes, Quincy Jones was a pimp. He used to procure all the prostitutes for the musical elite, the Hollywood elite too, some of them. How do you think he had that tell-all book? Because he was the ringleader. He didn't tell on himself, though. Thank you, Ray Resource Nurse. You said, will I be able to work from home as a nurse foster parent? All right, let's see. Will you be able to work from home? Thank you for your super chat. As a nurse foster parent. Siobhan said, LaToya been through it. Even Janet said that she didn't have a good relationship with her father. She was basically like, she don't have nothing to say to him. Okay, I got the 10 of Wands for you, Ray. That Ten of Wands says, yes, you can do it, but there's some things you got to put in place before you can make that happen. There might be some regulations and requirements, might have to be where you get your home up to code. That's probably what it deals with, because if you're talking about foster parent, usually there's something that, you know, you got to make sure your home is up to code. So you can do it. It's just going, you know, take some time to get everything in place and to, you know, be able to fulfill all the requirements, all the steps needed. Just do everything on that step by step, exactly how they tell you it needs to be done. And it would help if you can talk to somebody who is another foster parent who's already been through it. I used to work in the foster care system. I used to train foster care parents. So I understand that, you know, they got to make a home inspection. They got to, like some foster care parents, depending on the state requirements, they have to attend foster care parenting classes. I was the one having to do the foster care trainings, and I would make a home inspection. And I would have my little checklists and stuff like that. Yeah. And I have to admit, and this might be, some people might feel this is homophobic on my part, but when I was a caseworker during the foster care family thing where I was doing the trainings, it was for a Catholic agency. And years prior, like it was probably like a year prior, up to a year prior, they were not allowing gay males to adopt children. So they had changed the rule or changed the law or whatever, or maybe changed their policy. Because again, this was Catholic social services. So I was training a class with these two black gay, they were a gay married couple. No, I don't even think they were married. Was marriage gay? I don't even think gay marriage was even legal. I think this was when, wait a minute, this was in 2000. This was 2007. When was Obama president? Because didn't Obama make gay marriage legal? But anyway, make the long story short, they were in my parenting class for the foster parenting. And I have to admit, I did look at them with the side eye for a minute because I was like, I didn't know if their intentions. So Obama was president in 2008 because I was working for that agency in 2007. So this was before, because I believe gay marriage became legalized with Obama, right? Okay. So yeah. So they still, so I guess they were living partners and they were trying to adopt a child and they wanted a boy. Because I remember we had asked them, like, because it was during the training and we ran around all the foster couples and we were like, okay, why do you want to foster parent a child? And what do you want, a boy or a girl? And they was like, they wanted a boy. And I was looking kind of like, now I didn't treat them any differently than any of the other foster parents. And they were great guys, it seemed like. But like I said, my first thing was, I was like, I don't know. I'm just like, and let's be real, there's a lot of perverts out there, gay men and straight women and gay women. So I'm not saying that just because they were gay, it was the fact that they were two men wanting to adopt a boy. And I was just kind of like, I don't know about all that. They could have been two straight men wanting to adopt a boy. And I still like, they could have been brothers wanting to adopt a boy. And I still would have been looking at them. So it ain't about the gay thing. It was about, I was looking kind of side-eyed at them because, again, they were two males wanting to adopt a boy. And if my memory served me correctly, they didn't want a baby. They wanted like a 4 to like 7-year-old, because you could even try to, specify what you would prefer to foster. I'm just saying. Sarah said, I don't judge you for that. Things have drastically changed. That's flipped. And now it's promoted now. I have gay couple friends, lesbians too, that foster. Lil said foster kids get abused too much. And that's the only reason why I was kind of wondering, because, again, I'm very protected when it comes to children. So, oh yeah, they specified the age. And if my memory serves me correctly, they want it between like age 4 and 7. And again, I don't, oh, good. Nicole, for everything. I just answered your question. So you're going to have to go back, like rewind this like a couple of minutes back. I just answered your question. I'm so glad you showed up. I am so sorry that I skipped you. I totally missed you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for I need y'all to remind me up in here because I get easily distracted. Thank you. All right, so let me go to Latima. There you go. Thank you, Latima, for the super chat. So you said, can you pull a card for me? I want to know if me and this Gemini will last. Make it last. Make it last forever. Ever. Ooh. He had nudist magazines, Michael Jackson did. Make it last forever. It can last forever with a Gemini. You just got to be open to having to be put on a roller coaster ride with them. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. All right, let me calm down. And I didn't even get into the nitty gritty yet. All right, will this last? Woo, child, I got the Knight of Wands. And when I say that Knight of Wands don't be hanging around, he be getting out. Like, once he get what he need, he's out. So I don't see this lasting. But that Knight of Wands could be representing you. So let me just type this in here. Knight of Wands. That Knight of Wands could be representing you. Like, you ain't got no time for his foolishness. But that could be representing him too. But just, again, to answer your question, is it going to last? No, not with that Knight of Wands. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind about Gemini, like I said, you could deal with a Gemini. I'm not going to say be in a committed relationship with a Gemini. You could deal with a Gemini for the rest of your life if you're willing to allow them to put you on that roller coaster ride. And sometimes it's going to be fun, and other times it's going to make you want to throw up. So if you want that type of up and down, back and forth, in and out, hot and cold, love you, hate you type of thing, keep on dealing with him. But if you want a real relationship with somebody that's going to really, give you what you want and what you need, I would say look elsewhere, because that Knight of Wands, he don't be sticking around. He's stick and move. That's what he is. He's hit it and quit it. He's smash and grab. Yes. Don't you love that song? I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me. All right. She said, but I can't get off. All right. Now, I was looking at roller coasters last night because my son told me about this story when he was on a roller coaster. So because I go off on tangents, I was like, let me look at that roller coaster he was talking about on YouTube. So I was looking at roller coasters today, and it makes sense because now we talk about roller coaster. Yes, Gemini will put you on that roller coaster ride, but they don't like to fully shut the door. So they will keep coming back if you allow them. So you've been together for 9 months. Is he putting you on a roller coaster ride, Latima? And like I said, if he's not, he might be subdued with some nice Taurus energy or maybe even Cancer. But yeah, Jessica B said, my Gemini ex is the craziest person I ever met. Hey, Connect, how you doing? Yes. Tracy's upset. So tired of you making love to me, then disappearing so sudden. Oh, my voice ain't right tonight. She be hitting them notes. So he has Cancer. Now that Cancer is going to give him some staying power. But I would venture to say you still can't trust him fully because with that combination, he is likely to have a chick on the side at some point. Now, Nacho Lover said, my Gemini ex cut me the fuck off, but he might be back. Again, don't ever bet on bet on them staying away for good. Hey, Oro. Oro said, will I be able to have surgery in Houston with the necessary financing in spring? Yes, I love surgery questions. And then after this, I'm going to have to get into this case study. So Y'all can still post your super chats, and I'm going to ask the mods up in here to kind of keep track for me when I get into this situation, the demonic and the depraved. And then what I'll do is I'll take like little mini breaks and I'll answer whatever super chats come in or Cash Apps, because you could also send me funds through Cash App if you have a question. So I got the Queen of Swords, and that's a good sign that you'll be able to get the financing you need. So my answer is yes, because the Queen of Swords, she does what it takes to make it happen, and a lot of times things come to her rather easily. And that Queen of Swords, that sword is representing surgery. So yeah, you got it. You got it in the bag. Congratulations. Good luck. And keep me posted on that. All right, let's get into this sordid affair dealing with this situation right here. Now, before we get into the subject of this particular case study, again, this is a new Astrological Case Study Series, and this is called The Demonic and the Depraved. And again, I'm cautioning y'all, some of this is going to get really dark. So if y'all scared easily, you may want to sleep with the lights on tonight. Also, you may want to, there might be some parts that are kind of like gruesome. Like I do have a couple of images in here that are a little gruesome. So I will give you a warning before I pull these images up. And they won't be smack dab on the screen like you see here. It's going to be on a PowerPoint. So it won't be all close up. So I won't do that to y'all like that. Now, why did I start this Astrological Case Study Series? Because it fits my Scorpio North Node, my Scorpio Midheaven. I'm fascinated with the dark side. I'm fascinated with demons. I'm fascinated with psychosis and people that are psychotic and people that are just on the dark side. I'm fascinated. I want to know what makes them tick. So I've been studying this stuff for years. I've been studying demons and all the dark side and black magic and all that type of stuff for years. So this is definitely one of my passions, I'll say. Now, if you look at that image that I have up, can somebody, let's throw up some, because I like to hold class with y'all because I am a teacher. So sometimes y'all going to get the teacher side of me. So class, because this kind of is like a class tonight. So throw up some words that describe that image in terms of the emotion involved, because I want to see if one of you guys are going to mention this word that I'm about to bring up. So go ahead, go with it. We got 131 people in here. Don't be shy. Throw up a word that describes the emotion that is depicted in this image. So VR Grace says sorrow. Opus 642 said archetypal. Natural Lover says agony. I love these words so far. Sarah said desperation. Sarah said pain. There we go. Torment. See, me and Latasha, we right here because we got the same energy. We got the same birthday and everything. So yeah, there you go. You got it. But these other words are right on point too, because what I'm about to get in, these are all manifestations of demonic activity. These are all products of being tormented by a demon. But that's the key word I wanted to use, is torment. To me, torment is a sign of that you are dealing with some type of demonic activity. But also these other words that people are throwing out. So let's just go down the list. So all of these can be products of demonic activity: sorrow, agony, anguish, terrified, torture, pain. Also demonic, desperation, grief, devilish, torture, despair, anguish, terrified, misery, and lust, forsaken. Let's say chaos, unstable, insanity. See, good. Do y'all see the running theme here? This is all dealing with it, like demonic activities: possessed, anarchy, chaos, pain, terrify, ugliness, agony, fear, despair, possess. Okay. All right. So the reason why I chose the word torment is, to me, torment is a surefire way to determine if you are under demonic influence or if you are experiencing demonic activity. So let me just bring up the definition of the word torment. So torment, very simple. It means severe physical or mental suffering. So let me just copy that and put that in here. So torment, if you are experiencing torment, that could be a sign that you are experiencing some form of demonic activity, because guess what? Regular normal people don't torment you, right? Regular normal people might annoy you. They might bug you. They might get on your nerves. They might irritate you. They might make you mad. They might make you even want to fight them. But when we're talking about that word torment, meaning severe physical, emphasis on the word severe physical or mental suffering, that's of a different breed. That's not human. That's when we're getting more on the inhumane level. Torment is sort of like being tortured. That's not humane either. That's not really of the human spirit either. Now, we know that humans are capable of doing a lot of things. But when I'm talking about normalcy and when I'm talking about the way normal people behave, exactly, psychopaths are not normal people. And psychopaths torment people. That's exactly where I'm going with this. So you got to ask yourself, what is driving a psychopath to do what they do? And when we get over to the spiritual, you say that's some type of demonic force. Torment. So if you've ever had somebody in your life that tormented you, understand that that was a demon that you were dealing with at that point in time. And I'm going to break down the meaning of demon as I get into this. But keep in mind that the spiritual world is just as real as this material world. So when I say that during those times where you've been tormented by somebody, you were coming face to face with a demon. So let me go on. So again, just to reiterate, regular normal people do not torment others. So if you're dealing with somebody that torments you, you are dealing with some type of demonic presence. Now, I've dealt with torment from people, and have wondered, before I've really made my conclusions, I have wondered, does this person have a demon attached to them, or are they a demon in the flesh? Because why are they tormenting me like this? And why does it seem like they're taking pleasure in tormenting me? Now, there are angelic and demonic forces, just like there are good and bad people. And think about how I put out my Dark Sided Zodiac series, and people often get that they're often under the misunderstanding that I'm talking about the signs in general. No, I'm talking about the dark manifestations of the signs in terms of characters, in terms of people you deal with, because we can call a spade, and I know that not everything's in black and white, but let's be real. There's good people and there's bad people. There's people that's on the angelic side and there's people that's on the demonic side. And sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. Some people you just got to say that's a bad person. Now, can a person be depraved without any demonic influence, without any demonic activity? Well, I don't think so. I think when you're getting on the level of somebody being depraved, I believe that there's always some type of demonic activity going on. There's always some type of demonic influence, some type of demonic attachment that is the explanation why this person is so depraved. Now, one could venture to say that we are slaves to the planets or the gods. And I believe that they're one and the same. That's why the Romans and the Greeks and even the Egyptians, when they were talking about the planets, they referred to them as gods. Because let's be real, a huge chunk of our life is largely dictated by our natal chart, meaning our whole life is our natal chart, but a lot of those aspects and placements are meaning that our life is already heavily fated. Like the universe knows what we're going to do before we wake up in the morning. The universe already knows how our day is going to be. And you can see that through the transits. You can look at transits 10 years in advance and see what's going to happen with your life. Most people don't want to go that far. I don't even want to go that far as an astrologer. I'm only really concerned with what's going to happen to me within a month's time, or maybe up to a year in some cases. But I try not to peek too much into the future like that, because if you mess around with it too much, you could drive yourself crazy. So I strongly believe it's not meant for us, even astrologers, to fully know everything about the future. But with that being said, a lot of the future is already set in stone. It's already been dictated because we have this life script that's already been written. And basically we show up and we play our role, just like actors in a film. Basically, this life is like a big movie and the script is already written. And you know how actors, they can ad lib, they can, adjust the script a little bit. They can adjust their lines a little bit. They can totally go off the dome on some scenes if they're that good. Well, that gives them a little leeway. That gives them a little free will. But again, a large part of our lives are already predetermined and already fated. So with that being said, and if you know that there is an angelic and a demonic side of life, then when you ask yourself, when we are not in control of our will, when we are not in control of our lives fully, what influences are controlling us? And that's when you want to look at the planets. That's where the planets come in. Those planets are always having some type of pull on us, some type of control over us, some type of influence over us. So if you want to talk about demonic influence, we want to look at the planet Pluto. Sometimes Mars can have something to do with it as well. And you'll have other planets that either act as, they either aid or abet Pluto's influence in terms of demonic activity, but we'll get more into that in a minute. I just have some preliminary points to get through real quick. Also, part of the whole free will concept, understand that we are three-dimensional beings. So this is another thing to understand about the demonic world. And also you could throw in there the astral realm. So us humans, we are three-dimensional beings living a three-dimensional existence. And I'm actually going to try to find this video and play it for y'all, because I think the way this guy breaks it down is so on point. And it might be a little bit above some of y'all heads, but maybe some of y'all will get it. But I'm going to try to break it down before I even play the video. So basically, we are three-dimensional beings, and demons are four-dimensional beings. Angels are four-dimensional beings. So the best way I can describe it, but in this video I'm about to show you, this other guy, he describes it even better than I can. He describes it in a different way. But from my perspective, here's how I explain it. So you got humans that are three-dimensional beings, and you got your demons and your angels that are four-dimensional beings. So imagine a child playing with a dollhouse, right? Child got the dollhouse, got the play people, the play parents, play children, got the furniture in the dollhouse and all that. The dollhouse is a human. The dollhouse is that three-dimensional structure. It's the human. But the dollhouse doesn't have, and the dollhouse and the people in the dollhouse, they don't have no awareness that there's something above them, manipulating them. They think they're doing this on their own. They think that they're cooking dinner on their own, but really it's a little child at the play stove cooking dinner. That child is the demon or the angel. You get what I mean? The demon and the angel can see us, but we can't see them because it's out of our frame of reference. It's also out of our frequency, because four-dimensional beings, they vibrate at a higher frequency. So if you hear my last live stream, I was talking about the two signs, Aquarius and Pisces, being high vibrational signs, which also means that they vibrate at higher frequencies. And through those signs, you can access other dimensions. The way you access other dimensions is through frequencies, vibrations, and also a lot of times it takes some type of liquid substance, but that's another story. But again, the best way in terms of my understanding is that the fourth dimension is where the realm of the demons and the angels, and it's like a child so a demon is like a child playing with a dollhouse, and humans are the dollhouse. So again, that demon, if that demon can manipulate what's in that dollhouse, that's like the demon manipulating the person's mind. So we are basically toys for these planets, for these spirits, what have you, if we are not in control. So we're going to also talk about ways where we're not in control, which makes us vulnerable. So keep in mind that when you vibrate at a certain level, you can see certain things. So if we were able to vibrate at a higher level, we could see certain things that we can't see with the regular naked eye. It's the same as looking through things in a microscope. That's looking, inside of things, or, that's basically bringing it down to that level where you can see microscopic things. But you can also see things on a higher vibrational level. And some people have that ability to do it. Like some people can meditate and do it. But it's very few people that have that true gift that they can do it. Now, you got to ask yourself, if you are not in control of your mental faculties, then who is? Who is pulling those strings? Because after all, we are largely puppets with some degree of free will. Also keep in mind that saying that eyes are the windows to the soul. I say that eyes have a strong Gemini correspondence. And think about how Gemini deals with the conscious mind. And when people are out of their mind, oh, Rena, I'm going to get to your question in a minute. Thank you so much. Let me open this and make sure I keep it open. Eyes, I'm going to write this down too, Rena. Eyes are the windows to the soul. Gemini deals with windows, actually. And when somebody is out of their mind, what's the easiest way to see that somebody's out of their mind? By their eyes. I've heard of situations, now I never experienced this myself, but I've heard of situations where a person has become psychotic and their eyes turn black. And I'm talking about these are real people that have told me this, and I believe it. So when we talk about not being in full control of your mind, not being in full control of your mental faculties, but you're still walking around, you're still talking to people, you still acting like you there. Who's really behind the wheel? Who's really controlling things? That's what you got to ask yourself. All right, moving on. Now, with that being said, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion after doing a lot of research, because I've also researched a lot of mental health disorders. I've worked in the mental health field. Schizophrenia, in my opinion, and I don't want to offend anybody because this is a touchy subject, because there's some people, there might even be some people on this live stream that have schizophrenia, or there might be, some of your family members might have it. So I have to give this disclaimer. I don't want you to feel offended. I actually feel like this should actually be comforting, this explanation that I have for schizophrenia. And I feel like a lot of people feel this way anyway that are spiritual. So in my opinion, schizophrenia is basically a problem with being too open to both the astral and angelic realm. See, the astral realm, that's where demons hang out. The angelic realm, that's the realm of angels. And I feel like schizophrenics, they have full access to both. Well, not even, some of them have full access. Others, they have partial access because, some people's schizophrenia is more extreme than others. So many schizophrenic delusions and hallucinations are religious. You ever think about that? How a lot of those schizophrenics have religious themes, like they're always obsessed with religious themes. Some of them, when they have a psychotic episode, they talk about I'm God, or the devil's trying to get me. The devil told me to kill this person. It's always these religious themes. You got to ask yourself, why? Because we are actually dealing with a spiritual battle between the forces of good and evil. And somebody put up here Ephesians 6:12. Where is it at? Because that's exactly what we're dealing with. Who put that up? I'm trying to find it so I can highlight it. because Ephesians 6:12 is out of the Bible, and it talks about we wrestle not with evil of the flesh, but with the principalities of evil or whatever. I gotta find that quote. I wish I knew it by heart. But yeah, here it is, Miguel. Yes. Let me pull that up real quick. Ephesians 6:12, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So yes, just like we have a hierarchy on this planet Earth in terms of the material world, there's a hierarchy in terms of the spiritual world as well. So that's Ephesians 6:12. Let me scroll down that. So that's Ephesians 6:12, and this is basically what I'm talking about. So this is why schizophrenics often have these religious obsessions. It's because that's where it basically comes down to fundamentally, God and the devil, whether you want to believe in God or not, or you could say good versus evil. That's black and white. That's when you really just take off all the layers and take off all the extra fluff. And when it comes down to it, we are living out a battle between good and evil. And it's been that way ever since the dawn of man, you can say. And that's just part of the life, the life experience on earth. Now, I also believe that schizophrenia is basically existing in the dream state. Some dreams are nightmares, right? So when schizophrenics are having one of those freakouts or psychotic episodes, it could be a nightmare, just like we have nightmares. And think about how real dreams seem when we're asleep. And have anybody ever had a dream where it's so scary that you're struggling to wake up? I've had a couple of those dreams before. And then you wake up in a cold sweat or you wake up in a panic. I remember one time I woke up and I screamed. I didn't scream real loud, but I was like, oh, like that. I've had some really dark and scary dreams. And when you're asleep, you believe that shit is real. That's how schizophrenics live. Unless they're on that medication. But even being on medication, they could still be kind of existing in a dream world. And dreams are ruled by Pisces, and schizophrenia is a Pisces disease. So again, ever have a bad or a crazy dream? Just think about how real it felt when you were having that dream. Also, this is why the dead use dreams to contact the living, because that dream world is just as real as the physical material world. If you really understand how this spirit world works. And this is how some people have woken up from dreams and actually have had signs of being in a fight or something like that. Sometimes they call it alien abduction or whatever. There's also what you call out-of-body experiences, astral projection. I've experienced astral projection before. It's kind of scary, but it's also amazing. I haven't gone too far with it. Some people can astral project spontaneously. Other people can do it at will. A lot of children do it. And like I was saying during my last live stream, that if you are under a lot of trauma or a lot of pain or whatever, you could leave your body. You could have an out-of-body experience. Those near-death experiences is about when your spirit leaves your body. And you can see your own body on the gurney or in the hospital bed. And there's plenty of stories like that. Just look it up. So yeah, think about it. Schizophrenics, it's like they're living in the dream world. And the dream world, that's how the dead can contact you as well. So where you at, A Young Soul? A Young Soul said, yes, they do. The dead always contact you in your dreams. Yes. Don't listen to them, said, I'm scared of getting stuck in some sort of limbo. And think about it. If the dead were to come to you, and sometimes the dead will be seen while you're living, while you're awake, but let's say that was more common. That would be too freaky. Like you would be freaking out if your dead grandma came to you while you were sitting down eating dinner. So you can look at it as spirits are respectful, and they're going to wait till you're asleep and you're in that dream state, because anything can go. Anything goes when you're dreaming. Think about it. Anything goes. I am well versed that my pawpaw contacted me whenever I had something serious going on. Yes. So look at it as this. Your ancestors, your deceased family members, if they were good in this current lifetime, they can be angelic forces. They can be your guardian angels once they cross over. And yes, they will warn you about things through dreams. Patricia, the Capricorn ascendant, said, after my father died, he would kiss me on my forehead to give me comfort after he lost his battle with cancer. Yes. Yes. So yes, the dead are very much alive, you could say. It's just that they're existing in the dream world. Logos the Cosmos said, the worst dreams I've had were some freak nasty ones, never anything evil, demonic. Well, we got freak nasty demons too. Let's see what else some of y'all are saying before I move on. Irrational Kiss said, yup, my mom and I have crazy dreams whenever we have surgeries and have to take meds. Yep. Nacho Lover said, I astral project too, far during my pregnancy and saw myself. Patricia said, my father contacted me in my dream. He was fishing and he told me, I'm okay. You can enjoy your life without me. Oh, that is beautiful. So this shows you that the universe does have mercy, and it does bring us comfort during our times of loss and pain. Lil said, I once dreamt that I was being strangled, and when I woke up, I have all 3 of my sheets wrapped around my neck. Yeah, you could have been wrestling with a real spirit. So trust and believe. Some of this stuff happens. Scorpio Forever said, yes, schizophrenic people are always closer to the higher being, and also they are closest to the most evil as well. Cece said, in my culture, we perceive schizophrenia as what happens when someone is not ready for a spiritual awakening that is particularly intense. Wow. Did somebody ask, did I fart? I didn't fart. I did not fart. Did y'all hear a fart sound? Miguel said, Matthew 6:22, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. That's that eye on the top of that pyramid. All right, let's get into this now. Somebody said maybe a troll, right? That's one thing I don't do. I don't fart in public. Honey. That's my Venus and Libra. I'm too classy for that. All right. Yeah, maybe that's a demon up in here, because some demons do like farts now. Now, here's my understanding of the subject of demons developed from my years of research on this subject. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to pull up this PowerPoint presentation. Now, it's not going to be that large that you can see. And actually, let me pull it up on this laptop too. Demons surround me all the time. That was Busy Bone. Busy Bone got this song called Demons Surround Me All the Time. I love that song. Demons surround me all the time. Better pick up your psychic line. Nobody believes me. All right, let me. Oh, that's right. I can't do the full screen. I don't think I can. Let me see if I can. Nope. I can't. Demons surround me all the time. And I've had my share of demons, man. Demons surround me all the time. All right, let me. Okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to pull up YouTube. Hold on. Demons surround me all the time. Demons surround me all the time. Better pick up your psychic line. demons. All right. I hate when I hear myself singing. I had to put mute on there. Okay. Now I can see. Okay. So, the Demonic and the Depraved Astrological Case Study, Rudy Eugene. So, this is, you said who that boy is. So, this boy is known as the Miami Zombie, also known as the Causeway Cannibal. Now, this story came out. I gotta read the whole. I'm gonna read the bio in a minute, or the bio, not the bio, the whole synopsis and stuff. We're gonna get into that. But before we get into him, we're just gonna read a little bit more about this demon situation. All right. So, as seen above, it's the bullet points ain't even gonna work. Like I had it where. All right, let me just stop. Okay. So this is from a doctor, actually. Now, the whole connection between demons and schizophrenia is frowned upon in the psychiatry field. It's very controversial. So, yeah. Basically, regular science, medicine does not ascribe to this theory. So just know that what this person is saying is controversial. But at least I found it, because there is a doctor that does not totally throw out the plausibility of there being some type of demonic influence, demonic connection. So he writes, as seen above, there exist similarities between the clinical symptoms of schizophrenia and demonic possession. Common symptoms in schizophrenia and demonic possession, such as hallucinations and delusions, may be a result of the fact that demons in the vicinity of the brain may form the symptoms of schizophrenia. Delusions of schizophrenia, such as my feelings and movements are controlled by others in a certain way, and they put thoughts in my head that are not mine, may be thoughts that stem from the effects of demons on the brain. In schizophrenia, the hallucination may be an auditory input, also derived from demons, and the patient may hear these inputs. Thank you, Abby, for the Cash App. All right, and the patient may hear these inputs not audible to the observer. The hallucination in schizophrenia may therefore be an illusion, a false interpretation of a real sensory image formed by demons. This input seems to be construed by the patient as bad things, reflecting the operation of the nervous system on the poorly structured sensory input to form an acceptable percept. On the other hand, auditory hallucinations expressed as voices arguing with one another and talking to the patient in the third person may be a result of the presence of more than one demon in the body. So here's a doctor that is saying that he's not ruling out the possibility that schizophrenia is basically demonic possession. Moving along. Ermac concludes that it is time for medical professions to consider the possibility of demonic possession in the etiology of schizophrenia, and that it would be useful for medical professions to work together with faith healers to define better treatment pathways for schizophrenia. And remember what I said, a lot of schizophrenics, when they have their psychotic episodes, they tend to focus on religious themes. God, the devil, angels, demons. So more about demonic possession. So here I have demonic possession versus mental illness. So when we're thinking about astrologically, demons, demonic possession, demonic attachment, demonic influence, we want to think about Pluto, Scorpio, and the 8th house. And those are related, or they rule the astral realm. And the astral realm is where demons hang out. And like I said, I feel like schizophrenics, they're just very open to that astral realm, but also the angelic realm. Now, the astral realm is the realm of the dead and demons. Psychosis, when people become psychotic, that can be when the demon has taken over. The demon has fully taken over. Now the demon's at it upon destruction. Then you got demonic infestation. So you got different types of demonic infestation. So like I said, you got different types of demonic activity. So there's demonic possession, there's demonic attachment, and demonic infestation. So demonic infestation, let's start with that. So we got roaches, flies, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks. Now, some of y'all might think I'm crazy saying this stuff, but you really got to think about it. All this stuff is ruled by Scorpio, Pluto, and the 8th house. All this stuff I'm saying is all related. If you have a roach infestation, it could be because you got a demonic infestation. Same with flies, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, anything that like feeds off of you or that's dangerous to your health, that's an organism like that. Sexually transmitted diseases and other infections. Even some cases of severe acne. Now, I got a story about that. I think I might have said this during a live stream, but my oldest daughter knew of this girl in high school, and she had very severe acne. She was this Mexican girl. Her parents took her down to Mexico and got her an exorcism, and her acne cleared up fully. I became a believer about that, about the acne thing after that. So that could be a form, severe case. Not everybody that has acne means that you got a demon running through you. But no, in some severe cases where your whole face is covered with that cystic acne, that could be a sign of demonic infestation. Yes, ants too, especially those fire ants, and also demonic attachment, parasites. So if you have a parasite in your body, like a what is that called? Like a ringworm, roundworm. What's the one that makes a tapeworm? Demonic activity, demonic attachment, viruses, demonic attachment. That's why everybody's scared over this ether. It's a demonic influence. It's demonic attachment. That's why people and demons feed off of fear, y'all. That's one of the things they feed off of is fear. So all of this fear that's being drummed up over this virus, which is a form of demonic attachment, they're feeding off of it. Plagues, like the bubonic plague, that's demonic attachment, demonic infestation. Certain forms of bad bacteria. How about this? If you have fruit and vegetables, and if they go bad very quickly in your home, you might want to clean your home, like spiritually, do a spiritual cleansing of your home, burn some sage, get some kosher salt, do like some prayers or something, because you could have some demonic influence in your home. It could be somebody you're living with. So keep that in mind. Let's say that you move your boyfriend into your house, and then all of a sudden you're looking at your tomatoes and you're like, wait a minute, my tomatoes never got moldy this quick. My apples never started getting bad this quick. My onions never started getting bad this quick. That could be because the person that you got living in your home has some demonic attachment or a demonic influence, and it is same with plants dying too. Thank you, Scorpio Forever. Scorpio Forever said plants dying. Yes, plants dying, that is a form of demonic influence, possession, maggots too, all of that stuff. So again, we have to remember that the spiritual world is just as real as the material world. And just like we are living beings, but we also are endowed with spirit. We are basically spirits having a material existence or a physical existence. We're spirits first. Why wouldn't you think there's spirits attached to these roaches and these flies and these dogs, like these pit bulls that just rip off your face? Black dogs, number one, like in the Islamic religion, they say black dogs got demons on them. I believe it. Some of these dogs are demonic. Some cats can be demonic too. Animals can be demonically possessed as well. Rabies. That's some demon shit. You start foaming at the mouth. You want to attack somebody? If rabies ain't a form of demonic possession, I don't know what is. All right, let's move on. I get hype over this stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't wait to watch the replay because I can't even look at a lot of what y'all are saying right now. So I'm gonna have to catch a lot of what y'all are saying in the chat on the replay. But anybody that posted a super chat or did a cash out, I'll get to you in a minute. I'm gonna take a break in a minute. Now, demonic influences. So here are some forms of demonic influences. Bad people, just being around the wrong crowd. Remember how your parents, there would be a friend that would come over and your mom or your dad would be like, I don't like them. I don't want you hanging out with them. And you'd be like, why? What's wrong with them? It's because your parents could feel that demon on that child, or they could sense that demonic influence. They could just feel it. Sometimes your parents are trying to guide you, or you bring this boyfriend home. I remember one of my sisters did that to me, and I could tell. And this was one of the dudes that was a demon influence in my life. When the day she met this motherfucker, she said to his face, and he was a Virgo, and I got Virgo intercepted in my eighth house, the realm of demons. So when I tell you I've been with 2 Virgos that were demons in the flesh, I am not lying. And my sister, one of my sisters, called him to the floor the first day she met him. And she said to his face, she was like, I don't like you, and I hope my sister ain't with your ass for long. And I remember looking at her like, damn. And you know what? She was right. Capricorns don't play when it comes to that stuff. They call a spade a spade. So I never forgot her with that. And then there was another guy she pointed out that I was dealing with. She was like, I don't like him either. And she was right about him too. She's very intuitive, and she don't even realize how intuitive she is. Her sun is in the 8th house, which means that she can pick up on demons better than I can. So if you got planets in the 8th house, you might be able to sense a demon in somebody better than somebody else can. Yes, that sulfur, rotten egg smell. Hell yeah. Come on. Here are some more demonic influences. Bad people, drug dealers. Now, again, I'm not saying every drug dealer, but if you're in that drug game, that is demonically influenced because of all that goes into it. You gotta accept everything that comes with that drug game. And that's why it's not really the way to go. That's a demon influenced life. Pimps, prostitutes, that's a demon influenced life. And the more that a prostitute has sex with all these different people, the more she's liable to have these demonic soul ties with them. That's why all these prostitutes be looking all tore up from the floor up. They be only 45 years old. They look like they're 75. Gangs. There's demonic influence in gangs. That's why a lot of gangs call themselves like the devil's disciples, the demon soldiers, Satan's disciples, and all that type of stuff. Gang activity too, very demonic. Bars, strip clubs, swinger club. Now, I ain't trying to rain on nobody's booty parade. I'm not trying to rain on your flirt game and all that by going to bars, but trust and believe. And I've had people, some of my own clients have told me their experiences being in bars or a nightclub. I should have put in nightclub. And they started seeing demons because they could see things from a higher vibration. Because when the liquor is flowing, that's when the demons start to come out. You can look this up too. You know, the word alcohol has an astrological origin. How about that? Alcohol. Where's my chat real quick? Alcohol. The root word of alcohol comes from the fixed star Algol. And Algol means the ghoul in Arabic. And that is the root word for alcohol. And they call alcohol spirits, don't you? Come on, talk to me now. I might have to take y'all to church for a minute. But no, for real. So you got to be careful when the alcohol is flowing. That's when the demons start partying. That's when the demons start to come out. Remember that song, Freaks Come Out at Night? They were talking about the demons. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. So that's why you just got to be careful when you're at the bar, when you're at a nightclub, when you're around a lot of drunk people, because spirits will enter them. So bars, strip clubs, swingers clubs, orgies, and you go to one of them underground sex parties, yeah, you're going to be sexing a demon. One of them people in there is probably going to be a demon smashing you, and you're going to probably have a good old time. Prisons, of course, prisons is going to have some demonic influences. That's a no-brainer. But how about some churches? Oh, yes. Some of them churches, the devil be right up in the church, or these demons be sitting right up in the church, or sometimes the pastor himself is a motherfucking demon. I rebuke thee in the name of the Lord. Yes, I do. Sometimes you got to say that to the preacher himself. Get this devil off of me. Devil, get behind me. You got to say that to the preacher sometimes. Because, you know, he be trying to sex everybody up in the church. You got one of them pastors that's always trying to get on these young things in the church, talking about pretty young things. He could have that demon on him. He could have that lust demon on him. Yes, there's generational demons, not your lover. Yes. So even in church, the devil can get you. And there's this saying that the devil's favorite hiding place is the church. Talk to me now. Can I get an amen? Now, other forms of demonic influence: dark music, art, books, shows, movies. This is why you got to be careful what you read. I've, wanted to get this book, American Psycho, because you know that movie, American Psycho? Well, there's a book that the movie was based off of a book. And from what I heard, the book is like 100 times worse in terms of the murder scenes and stuff. And from what I heard, and I saw an interview with the author. That's all I need to see. Dude is straight demonic. And he said that he channeled his own dark side to write that book. And when I tell you, basically the book is all about sexually torturing women. And I'm like, yeah, you got some demon on you. I don't need to read that book. And what's so crazy is on the Amazon reviews for that book, you can look it up yourself. Pull up the 1-star reviews. People are warning people not to read that book because it says it infects your mind. I don't want no demon infestation through some book. Yes, certain books can result in you being under demonic influence. Remember that book called The Necronomicon? That's what that's all about. You ever see that movie, The Evil Dead, where he's reading the book and he starts reading the demon names and the demon starts coming through the woods? Watch that movie. They got The Evil Dead 1 and The Evil Dead 2. All right. And that's why I stopped watching that show, American Horror Story. Oh, it's called Evil Dead if you're thinking about the movie. That show, American Horror Story, to me is too demonic. I don't want to go that far. As fascinated as I am with the demonic realm, I feel like that show is channeling demons. And I feel like that show is written by people that are demonically possessed or under demonic influence. And I don't want no part of that. That stuff will infect your brain. It will desensitize you to a lot of that dark shit. Now, I know VR Gay is saying American Horror Story is tame. Yeah, for some people. But for me, I know some of that stuff is real. And that's why I don't dabble too much with that stuff. Also, other areas of demonic influences, impoverished areas. Of course, living in a high crime area, living in the hood, period, you're going to have more demonic activity because of the ugliness, because of the despair, because of the drug use, because of the murders, all of that. So impoverished areas, sewer systems, deserts. How about that? You don't want to be caught out in the desert at night by yourself. Number one, those demons can mess with your mind and you'll easily get lost. And you'll die in the desert because you can't find your way out. There's demons that like to hang out in the desert. And this comes from Islamic demonology. There's demons in Islam, they call demons jinns. And they talk about how the jinns like to be in desolate places. They like to hang out in the desert. And they like to be where nobody else is. But there are demons that like to fuck with people too. Also, basements. Any low-lying areas. Basements, holes in the ground. Remember that movie, It? Remember It was coming out of the sewer? And he said, what did he say? He was like, they all float down there. I never liked that movie, It, because it was too demonic for me. And the reason why, I'm saying it was too demonic, because I feel like it had a strong pedophilic theme, and I don't really get down with movies like that. So yeah, that creepy movie, that clown, It, what was he? He was right in the sewer. Yes, this is why people hate basements. Scorpio rules basements. Scorpio rules all those low-lying areas, things where you could have stagnant water. How about this? Black mold. What about black mold? If that's not demonic infestation, I don't know what is. That black mold will kill you if you're not careful. Mold, period, can be seen as demonic influences, period. Mold will make you sick. All right, let me go back to this slideshow. And this case study is extra long because I just got to get through this preliminary demonic stuff just to warm y'all up. for this story that we're going to get into. So that's why I said this live stream might be 2 hours, because I just have to do this preliminary stuff, because not everybody is familiar with demons and demonology. So I'm just coming with a little introduction first. So again, just to recap, here are your areas of demonic influences: bad people, drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, gangs, bars, strip clubs, swingers clubs, prisons, some churches, dark music, art, books, shows, movies, impoverished areas, sewers, deserts, basements, dungeons. Now, here are the forms of possession, attachment, or infestation. Drugs and alcohol. That's at the top of the list. I already talked about the alcohol, and the root word for alcohol is algol, which is a fixed star that's very deleterious. It's very violent. It's one of the worst. They call it the demon star, matter of fact. Let me write this down. Algol, the fixed star, and I believe it's, what is that? The 7th degree of Taurus. Algol is known as the demon star. And algol is the root word. Algol is the root word for alcohol. Again, this is not a coincidence. These people from back in the day knew what they were talking about. All right, hold on. Let's continue on. All right, so where we at? Okay. So drugs and alcohol, that's one form of demonic. That's one way that demons can possess you or attach themselves to you. Invoking spirits. So invoking spirits using the Ouija board, seances, performing certain rituals, repeating certain mantras, certain religious practices like Palo Mayombe. Some of y'all heard of that. Obia sometimes can put somebody at risk. That's a Jamaican dark form of mysticism. Even voodoo, if done incorrectly, and this is why you need to have a voodoo priest, or you need to become an apprentice if you want to practice the voodoo religion. You really need to study under those who know it or who live it, because you could mess around and attract the wrong kind of spirit on you, because voodoo is a religion where you are working with real spirits. And if you're not careful, one of them demons that you didn't intend to, break through and attach themselves to you can possess you. And of course, Satanism, not the Anton LaVey watered down Satanism. I'm talking about the ritualistic Satanism. Depression can leave you open to demonic attachment, demonic influence, demonic activity. Puberty. I know some of y'all might be like, what? When I say puberty, but look it up. Puberty makes the child vulnerable to demonic influence, demonic activity, demonic attachment, because that child is ripe for the blooming of their sexual energy. I hate to put it like that, but that's how it is. So just like you got these pedos that are going after kids, some of them might be demons in the flesh that are going after kids. That prepubescent stage and that puberty stage makes a child very vulnerable to demonic influence, demonic possession. So if your 14-year-old comes into your room one night and be like, Mom, my bed is shaking, you better believe them. You better be like, yo, stop playing around. You better go in that room and check it out. Also, just little kids, period. Children, period, are more sensitive to the spirit world than adults are. So they're also more vulnerable as well. You ever see that movie Insidious? Watch that movie Insidious if you never seen it. That has to do with a child that becomes this demon is trying to attach himself to this child. And there's a lot of truth in that. So puberty is one. Sex, just sex, period, but especially anal sex or other forms of sex that require torture or pain, all that type of stuff, that can invite demonic influences in your life. Of course, murder, abuse, torture. How about brain injuries? Brain injuries and brain disorders. Brain injuries, brain disorders will leave a part of the brain inactive or inaccessible to the conscious mind. So when you ask yourself, if you're not in control of that part of your brain, Who is controlling it? This is why you can have somebody that gets into a terrible accident. They end up having a head injury, and then they suffer some brain damage, and then they become an evil person. You have to ask yourself, when people have mental health disorders, when people have brain disorders, why are they so inclined to become evil, to become dark, to become combative, to become disagreeable? It's not by coincidence and it's not by chance. It's because a lot of times there is a demon that inhabits their brain. And basically that's what that doctor was saying in that quote that I read. So yeah, brain disorders, brain tumors, epilepsy, like Richard Ramirez, that serial killer that we were talking about, that last live stream. Richard Ramirez suffered from epilepsy when he was a kid. And next thing you know, he got demons all up in him. So yeah, even brain disease disorder too. Yes, the menstrual cycle, again, goes hand in hand with puberty, and that attracts demonic influence. Why? Because demons are attracted to blood. They love blood. So brain injuries, trauma-based mind control. So some groups of people, Satanists and Luciferians and stuff, and this is where you get this Illuminati satanic ritual abuse. Some of them will want a demon to possess a person. And the way they do that is to engage in trauma-based mind control. And usually they do it by sexual abuse. And they scare the hell out of these children. The best way to put a demon into a person is to get them before they turn age 7. There's truth in this. Aleister Crowley even wrote about some of this stuff. But if you want a demon to inhabit a child, you really got to do it before they turn age 7, because at age 7, they experience that full separation from their parents. Like they understand that they're a fully separate person with a mind of their own by age 7. And that coincides with the Saturn square in everybody's chart. So around age 7, you're going to be experiencing your first Saturn square. Transiting Saturn is going to be squaring your natal Saturn. And you can look at that as that could be where maybe Satan is testing you right there around that time. It can be a vulnerable time in the lives of children. And lately I've been looking at this channel on YouTube where it's all these stories of men who have been sexually abused, men who have been raped. It's so touching and it's so tragic, and I feel so sorry for these men. But I'm seeing a common denominator. A lot of these men were raped or sexually abused or molested at age 7, between 7 and 8. So there's something with these demons. Again, these demons want to get inside you before you turn 7. Because once they get inside you, they can really inhabit you. And then now it's hard to get rid of. All right. Filth, squalor, living in filth, living in squalor. You ever see those hoarder shows? Especially those real nasty hoarders that they have like cat poop all over the place, dog poop. They even have, I've seen hoarder shows where the person has their own poop all piled up in their bathroom. I can't even hardly look at scenes like that. That's a form of demonic possession, demonic infestation, all that stuff. We might have to do a part 2 with this because this shit is deep. And again, I haven't even got into the story about Rudy Eugene yet, but all of this is for a reason. All this preliminary stuff is for a reason. Horn Sarin said around age 7 in Islam is when a child is allowed to fast if he wants to. Yeah, because they realize that by that time, that child is vulnerable to demonic influences because, yeah. All right. So again, living in filth, living in squalor. You ever hear that saying, cleanliness is next to godliness? Yes. The more filth you live in, the more nasty your house is. And of course, that's going to invite in roaches. And again, roaches are a form of demonic infestation. That's why roaches and filthiness go hand in hand. The roaches love that shit. That's why flies love shit. Flies and shit go hand in hand, and demons love shit too. Not all demons, but some demons love shit. You ever see that movie Dogma with Chris Rock and Salma Hayek? And there's a lot of celebrities. Watch that movie Dogma. Let me write that down. That movie Dogma got a lot of truth in it, because in that movie, they even got a shit demon in that movie. Some of y'all saw that movie. You know what I'm talking about. The shit. And where does the shit demon come out of? The shit demon is in a toilet in a bar. How about that? What did I tell y'all about bars? There's a lot of truth in these movies that they be putting out. All right, let me move on. Wait a minute. Okay. So I mentioned blood. So demons are attracted to blood. So blood, gore, guts, all that type of stuff. Living near a cemetery or a burial site. That's not recommended. I don't care how good of a deal you're getting on this house. And one of my clients just told me the other day that her ex lives near a cemetery. I'm like, God damn. Yeah, you really don't want to live near a cemetery because some of the dead don't stay in the grave. Some of the dead don't stay at peace. So you never know what spirits are going to be lurking around your property because you want to post up near a cemetery. Now, remember, Richard Ramirez, you have quite a few I'd say celebrities. They actually are like celebrities, these serial killers. You will hear some stories of serial killers where they used to sleep in graveyards. Richard Ramirez is one of them. There was this other serial killer where he had this, he was obsessed with digging up bodies. So yeah, people that practice Palo Mayombe, the ones that are really into the dark side of it, they might even dig up bodies just to take bones and stuff. We could get into Palo Mayombe because that's one of the darkest forms of spirituality you'll ever get. Like you got to have this pot called an Nginga or something like that, and you got to keep feeding the pot flesh, bones, and after a while, the spirits, the demons that are requiring these sacrifices, after a while, just sacrificing animals ain't going to appease them. Soon you're going to have to kill somebody, kill a human. But if you ever seen that movie Borderland, let me type this in. I'm dropping some gems tonight because watch that movie Borderland. That's about Palo Mayombe. Some of y'all saw that. That has a lot of truth in it. All right, and I said this already before. Deserts, being in the desert, especially at night, also being in desolate places, even being like in abandoned parking lots, abandoned homes. Stay away from abandoned homes. You know, there'd be a lot of crackheads up in there. Anyway, again, it goes with the territory. Okay, I'm going to get to your super chat right now. So, okay, let me take a break and get to these super chats, and then we'll get back into this story. Okay, I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves, and I hope I'm not scaring y'all too much right about now. All right. And then, okay, so I see Crowman. And then also somebody sent me a Cash App, so I'm going to have to do that first. So I see Crowman. Let me put this one up here just to mark it. And then who else? I might need to Oh, so this is just, so I don't think you had a question, did you? So you said, yeah, Chris Benoit had brain injuries. The WWE wrestler who murdered his whole family and himself set Bibles next to his family's body. See what I mean about the religious themes? All right, now, Darla, I see your super chat. Thank you. I'm going to get to you in a minute. So let me answer Rena's first. So Rena, you said, will I ever get married? To what type of man? All right, so will I ever get married? And if so, to what type of man? So that's a two card situation. You did give me enough for a 2 card. So let me do that real quick. Oh, somebody gave me a dislike. I guess it was a demon that creeped up in here. Oh, and now they just took that dislike away. I caught you, demon. I rebuke thee in the name of the Lord. And I used to know how to say it in Spanish. How do you say it? Oh, man, I forgot how to say it. El nombre de criado, but I forgot how you say it, rebuke in Spanish. But I used to say it in Spanish. So you said, will I ever get married? To what type of man? This is from Rena. That's right. Not today, Satan. I was about to say Saturn, but it's all the same beast. Not today, Saturn. So I got the Temperance, which tells me that, I don't see you getting married, but I see you living with the person. It's going to be that halfway type of John. All right. What type of man? So you're going to have the man. You just won't have that wedding ring. You're going to have the man. You just won't get that wedding band. You're going to have a promise ring or one of them. Y'all going to have that spiritual ceremony type of thing on an island. Y'all going to have that type of, what do they call that? A civil ceremony or some shit? So now we're going to see the type. Oh, you got the King of Wands, baby. I love me some King of Wands, man. Oh, he going to be able to whine. And when I say wine, I don't mean wine and dine. I mean wine you in the bedroom. That Jamaican wine. Like, he might be Jamaican. No, let me stop. But he could be very good looking. Be an expert in his field, let's say, professional. Might be on the tall side. Athletic build. Knows how to treat ladies, but is not a simp. He's not a simp. So you can't, be thinking you're going to treat him any type of way, because he will walk right out of your life. Before you walk out my life. That's what you're going to be singing. I just want to go back to being the same. That's what you're going to be singing if you mess around with this King of Wands. Yeah, don't scare him away. All right, who else we got? Somebody else had a question. Before you walk out my life. All right, Darla Chavez said, should I completely drop this Leo? I like the way you put that. Drop this 0 and get with this hero. Just say yes, I won't settle for less. No. Because that's not the way it goes, and I'll take you to every disco show. Whoa. Baby, cut that 0. Get with this hero. That was Dougie Fresh back in the day. Y'all know nothing about that. Should she drop this Leo? She gonna drop him like a bad habit. She gonna drop the dime on his ass. That's what she gonna do. She's about to call his probation officer like, look, I got a little tip for you. That's the best way to get a dude out your life. Just call his PO. That just show you the type of men I used to deal with. It's like, so you got the Knight of Pentacles. Now that's not dropping a dude, but I'm gonna tell you this. This is where you're gonna have to have him show and prove. Basically, that Knight of Pentacles, that's like you giving him one more chance. One more chance. Baby, give me one more chance. I'm going to say give him one more chance to show and prove. If he doesn't, I'm going to say, because Knight of Pentacles, that can deal with a lengthy period of time. I would give it till summertime, the end of summer. If he hasn't shown and proved by then, I would say let him go. I do believe in giving people chances. Okay, Patricia, thank you so much for reminding me. Actually, can you post your question right now? Repost it again, because I think I lost track of that super chat, and I might have to pull up my phone to be able to look at them. But since I have you right now, please, Patricia, repost. And actually, I'm going to highlight yours right now. Yes, te reprendo en el nombre de Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Oh man, I remember one time I was going through it with somebody. I found this African lady. You know how Africans, when Africans are Christian, same with the Caribbeans, they get deep into the Lord. They be getting deep into Jesus. So I found this one lady because I felt like I was being tormented, y'all. So I felt the demonic spirit just enveloping me. So I had to find somebody on YouTube that was very well versed in the Bible and who was a good friend of the Lord. So I found this African lady, and I'm telling you, them Africans in the Caribbean, they get really hyped with Jesus. Like they be getting intense with it. So she was the right person I needed, because she was like, and she had this sweet little voice. I think she's a Pisces, sweet little lady. She was like, in the name of Jesus. Yes. And she would talk in tongue. I shall go in the name of Jesus. I shall in the name of Jesus. And that's what I needed to hear. I was like, yes, I rebuke this demon in the name of Jesus. Te reprendo en el nombre del criado. De Jesus. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, Patricia, where you at? Yeah, somebody put a hex on you. Now, where's your question? Okay, you said, what career should I pursue in college? She said, what career should I pursue in college? Scorpio Fairy said, I'm sounding like your play aunt. She one of them like Jesus freaks. Yes, in the name of Jesus. I felt that spirit. That's what I needed, though. And when I tell you she got me through, and I am not a Christian, but sometimes I will rely on Christians. Sometimes you gotta rely on people who got that religious fervor that you don't have. Shoot. And she helped me to get through those dark times, let me tell you. All right, what career should you pursue in college? Janelle, you got the 91st Psalm on your front door. That's right. I got the 4 of Wands. Let me see what that can do with that 4 of Wands. Know what that makes me think? How you feel about human resource management? Let me know how you feel about that, because that's the first thing that I'm getting intuitively. Real estate could be an option with that 4 of Wands. Yes, not your lover. I'm trying to think what else could come through with that 4 of Wands. Because when I see that 4 of Wands, I do see things like event coordinator. That could also be where you're working. It's definitely going to deal with where it's more on a softer end. Where are you at? So you said, oh, Kritika said wedding planner. Where are you at? So Patricia, you say you like it? Okay. Do you have any planets in Aquarius or Libra or what's that other sign that's good for human resources? Those are the top 2 signs that are good for human resources, Aquarius and Libra. So if you got either of those 2 signs on your midheaven, that would be good. But yeah, if something else comes to me, I'll let you know with that 4 of Wands. But it's definitely something where it's like you're going to be helping people. You could even say helping people to make a transition. There you go. So your moon is in Libra. That's perfect for human resource management. But I would say make sure you go the management route. Look, let me tell you. I remember one day I looked up the median salary for a human resource manager. And I'm talking about, I looked this up maybe 10 years ago. I was about to call them MFs, but let me stop. Let me stop being so foul with my mouth. They make 6 figures easily. Human resource management. So if you're really about getting those coins and you don't want to have to work too hard, human resources, especially in terms of management. Scorpio is actually pretty good for human resources, especially if you're dealing with the benefits end. Like if you're going to be working with a lot of benefits, if you're going to be working with insurance policies and stuff like that, hell yeah. That there it is. Open enrollment. That's that 4 of Wands. I'm definitely seeing human resource management because you're going to be coordinating them open enrollment seminars and stuff. You know how the corporation get everybody together during open enrollment and be like, you got till this date to fill out your new insurance package and all this stuff. And you might have to go attend an open enrollment training for insurance and all that. That's what it is, because your midheaven is in Scorpio. You're going to be working on benefits. People going to be coming to you asking about their pension and stuff, especially if you work with pensions. Child, that's bank. Child. And then human resources, you'll always have a job. Always, because every corporation needs a human resources department. I'm getting hyped for you. All right, next. Ness, thank you for your super chat. Did I miss anybody else? Let me know now before I get back into this demonic shit right here. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Scorpio Forever said, I switched over my degree from social work to public administration. That's a good one for that 4 of Wands too. And I can work anywhere in management or administration, so I can work at HR too. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. especially nowadays, you definitely want to get a job that's not easily replaced, where you're not easily replaced, and also where basically it's needed. Thank you, AKB. And again, now's your time. If you posted a super chat and I didn't see it, please let me know. Thank you so much, AKB. Make me think of AK-47. Who you busting shots at? Now, what's your best relationship advice for an 8th house, 17 degrees Taurus moon in void, oppose my Venus in Scorpio, conjunct my Pluto. Wait a minute. Oppose my Venus in, wait a minute. Taurus moon. Okay, I see. You're saying your Venus is conjoined to your Pluto. Got you. So you're saying, what is your best relationship advice? First of all, do a background check on anybody that's a potential mate. And I'm not just talking about a regular background check. I'm talking about one of them felony background checks. One of them ones that, what do they call that? Is it called the FBI back? It's the one where they check every state in the country. That's how I found out I still had a warrant for my arrest. Let me stop. But let me stop. Look, sometimes the past come back to haunt you and shit. But yeah, get one of them multi-state background checks. Number one, that's what you could do, because you could get with somebody that's hiding stuff. Hell, you also got to keep in mind that you may not be the only woman in a man's life because of that hookup. Whenever you got like 8th house placements like that, and then combined with Scorpio, you have to just be ready to share your man or your mate with the world, you might as well say. You might as well get in line, you might as well say. I mean, if you're at the beginning of the line, that's best, but sometimes you might be third in line. You just can't trust people at face value. I don't care how good they look, how, nice they are. You just got to be very cautious with that hookup. You also got to get with somebody that makes much more money than you do, because you're going to run the risk of attracting a partner that's going to be dependent upon you financially. And I don't think, not many of us women are trying to do that shit anymore, or even go there at all. So that's my advice for you with relationships with that hookup. Also, be careful about being in a cohabitation situation with a mate, especially before you're actually ready, before you really know this person, because it could be hell. And yes, you are vulnerable to demonic influence, demonic infestation, and demonic attachment and demonic possession. So you got to be careful. You really got to be careful the type of people you invite into your life. Hell, you might have had an experience living in a haunted house before. All right. Let me know if you have. Thank you, Aaron, for your super chat. And again, if somebody else posted a super chat, who was that person with the $9.99 super chat? Where you at? Because let me know if you have a question too. Wait. I think I see you, Ness. So Ness has 2 questions. So I'll get to you in a minute. Ness, I got you right now since you posted that first. So Ness, I'll get to you and Aaron in a minute. And then Ness, where you at? Post your questions, Ness. Elliot Ness. Google who? Oh, Horn Sarah. I'll post your question for the super chat as well. I might have to see if I can pull those super chats up on my phone, if it'll let me. So Horn System, let me write you down. So I did Rena Horned. I'm going to write you down. I have Aaron. I'm writing you down. Right now, waiting for Ness's question. And then I'm going to see what other ones. All right, Ness, where you at? Ness looking like Lori Harvey. All right, it's getting hot in here. That means my other laptop probably about to look. No, don't even say it. All right. So, all right, Horn System, I'm gonna get to you first while Ness is posting her question. So your question was, will I get married to the man I want? You're the one that I want. Ooh, 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 honey, the one that I want. Ooh, 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 honey, the one that I want. The one I need. Oh, yes, indeed. I got chills, they multiplying, and I'm losing control. Will I get married to the man I want? If you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. You got 3 pentacles, which means you're going to be in a love triangle, girl. You're going to be with the man that you need, but you're going to be seeing the man that you want on the side. That's how I see it. So you're going to get married to the man that you need, and the man that you want, he's going to have to be your side piece until you get enough strength to leave the married man. I mean, to leave your husband and be with the man. Remember, you ever hear that song, You, Me, and He? You, me, and he. What we gonna do together? Yeah. So, that 3 of Pentacles, that's a threesome card. Not saying y'all gonna be in an open marriage, but yeah, I see it where you're gonna get married and he's not gonna be the one you want. That 3 of Pentacles can even be like an arranged marriage. So you might get married for material security, and then the one that you want is going to come into your life, and now you're going to be like, should I stay? Should I go? I don't know. Yeah, you're going to be like that. You're going to be all twisted up inside. You ain't going to know what to do. Okay, Aaron, you're next. All right, Aaron said, my rising sign is Aquarius, but when I read my rising sign horoscope, it resonates with Pisces. What does that mean? Well, if you have any planets in Pisces, that would make sense. And then you got to ask yourself, how much of Aquarius is in your first house? So what degree of Aquarius is on the ascendant? If it's in the latter degrees, it would make sense that you resonate more with Pisces, because that means you got most of Pisces, like most of your first house is colored by Pisces instead of Aquarius. And then even then, let's say, so 12 degrees, and then what degree is starting your second house? Let me know. But let's say there was an equal blend of Aquarius and Pisces in your first house. You will also have to look at the rulers of both of those signs, because whatever placement is stronger, that's going to be more dominant in terms of the energy that's influencing you. So that could be why you're, feeling more Piscean than feeling more Aquarian. All right. And then you might even have some asteroids in Pisces that's just going to, reinforce that Pisces energy over Aquarius. All right. Let's see. Who else we got? Nets. Okay, Nets, your questions. So good. After Nets, I'm going to get back to this presentation. And then, we got 150 people in here, 105 likes, 2 dislikes, 2 demons up in here. It's all good, because not all demons are that bad. We need a little demon sometimes in our life to keep us on our toes. It's all good. But let's see. Will the trip I'm taking in 2 weeks solve the issue I'm trying to fix? Girl, I'm so tempted to get all up in your business, but I'm not, because I don't have time. So will the trip I'm taking, let me take this one first. Will the trip I'm taking in 2 weeks solve the issue I'm trying to fix? I think I know what that is, but I'm not even going to say it. She got her bags packed, waiting at the door. You just got to wait for that Victoria's Secret shipment to come in before you can fully be packed and ready to be on your way, right? I already know. Now you got that death card. So I don't see it being fixed with that death card. Nope. I don't see it. So not with the death card. Things might even turn from bad to worse. Now, you said, is the man I'm currently dating right now for me? Let's see. Can you still get a refund on them plane tickets? It's like, let me stop. But no, I really don't see it being fit. I see this being a done deal at this point. It's a moot issue. It's the guy you're currently dating for you. Interesting. I got the Justice card, which means that he's for you, but it doesn't mean that it's going to last, if you get what I'm saying, because somebody could be for you for the moment, for whatever you need to learn at the time, because I'm seeing this being more of a learning situation. But I will say you have met your match with that Justice card. So sometimes you meeting your match doesn't mean that everything's going to be all peachy keen and a bed of roses. And maybe something major has to change for you to be able to be more at ease with this person, or be more at peace with yourself dealing with this situation. But I will say you've met your match. And sometimes when we meet our match, it's more so for us to learn something and for us to grow out, to grow from it. And that's really the true essence of being in relationships. It's not just about getting what we want and having a good time. It's about learning and growing. So, know what this tells me? This might be a soulmate that you're dating with this Justice card. So it might mean that, this person has come back into your life to reconcile and to resolve some past life issues. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to get back into this presentation. And then if anybody, we got Trella. Thank you for your super chat, Trella. Did you have a question, or is that just on the strength of you digging my live stream right now? Oh, let me get rid of this. So let me know before I transition over back into this presentation. You said, I really wish it was, but I'm just going to reset. There's been a lot going on in my life lately. You starting to reveal some details? See, I'm going to have to catch up on this later. Okay, here's your question. So you said, thank you, Trella, for the super chat. You said, I've been seeing images mysteriously appear out of nowhere, doors and walls since 2016, and still seeing them to this date. They just, when I do see them, I'm not afraid. Total of 14. I have pics of them all. Girl, can you please send me these pics? I live for this stuff. Here's my email. That's if you want to. I don't want to put pressure on you. But yeah, if you got time and you can send me at least some of these pics, especially the ones that are really going to be jaw dropping, please. Here's my email right here. Because I love this stuff. I live for this stuff. Oh, so that wasn't your question. Okay. What's your question, Trella? Oh, thank you for your super chat, Sarah. Now I got to see. Thanks for Siobhan for letting me know. All right, let's see. Where you at, Sarah? Oh, okay. Here you go, Sarah. You said mine was for 10, not a question, but more of a statement, more for your comment back. Okay, let me try to scroll back up and see what you said. In the name of Jesus. That lady got me through a tough time. In the name of Jesus. Is this it? My Libra bestie, a human resource executive, and she thinks I'm crazy for loving astrology. Fool. Was that what you wanted me to respond to? All right, where you at, Trella? What's your question? Oh, that was the question. Okay. Kong, you got it too? Thank you for your super chat, Horn Seren. You said, but will me and him see each other again, though? When will I see you again? When will our hearts be forever? When will I see you again? Thank you, Jessica, for your donation for the live stream. When will I see you again? I ain't even gonna lie. That song used to tear me up. I would hear that song in department stores, and I knew, like, and this was when my son was real young, and me and his father, we were going through the custody battle. So there was a time where I wasn't able to see my son for a minute. And that song would come on in a store, and I would just, oh my God, that song though. When will I see you again? All right, let's see. When will me and him see each other again though? Okay. When will I see you again? I got the Knight of Pentacles, which is a yes. So y'all probably meet in a cafe. That reminds me of meeting in a cafe anyway. Starbucks. Hell, Dunkin' Donuts. I prefer Dunkin' Donuts over Starbucks anyway. Can we at least do a little survey here real quick? You're so welcome, Nets. Starbucks. Just to keep things a little light before we get back into the darkness again. Starbucks got that demonic symbolism too. Starbucks versus Dunkin'. What do y'all say? If you are more on the Starbucks end, press 1. If you prefer Dunkin' Donuts, press 2. I'm at the point, I go back and forth, but I'm at the point now where I'm a Dunkin' Donuts chick. Because I love them chocolate cake donuts. And Dunkin' Donuts coffee has always been on point, if you ask me. And now Chris said D's nuts. What coffee shop is that? No, I'm just playing. So let me see. Okay, so I said Starbucks is 1. Dunkin' is 2. So let me see. Janelle said 1. So that's Starbucks. Kimani Starbucks. Love Dunkin'. Jessica Dunkin'. Aspen Mahogany said both are gross. I prefer Panera. So she that bougie Panera. Adrian 1 Starbucks. Open 642 wants Dunkin'. J Kong Dunkin'. Let me see. Latasha, what you say? Okay, great, Ness. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Hi, Preempt Press said 2 Dunkin' French vanilla and glaze. Man, I'm getting in the mood for some iced coffee from Dunkin' right about now. But I'll tell you what I like. If I go to Starbucks, I always get the iced caramel macchiato. That's the shit. I ain't even gonna lie. But sometimes they be a little too heavy on that caramel. I have to be like, can you go light on the caramel? All right, Accident Safe Starbucks. Siobhan Starbucks, AK Dunkin'. Cali Starbucks. Don't listen to them Starbucks. Indigo Starbucks. Hidden Tower Dunkin'. I like them both. I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I'm more in the mood for Starbucks. Other times I'm more in the mood for Dunkin'. And they both have their refrigerated versions where you could go to your convenience store and get the plastic bottle of them both. But when it comes to that, Starbucks got the glass bottle and the can. All right. Now, Kong, you had a question. Where you at, Kong? Kong. There you go. J Kong, where did you post your question? J Kong? J Kong, rock me all night long. Can you rock me all night long? J Kong. J Kong said, I'm an Aries Taurus cusp. When will I realize true love and success? Aww. When will you realize true love? And so this is a when question. So since you got a twofold goal, I'm gonna put a 5-year window on it. Somebody sent me a Cash App. Thank you very much. 5-year. We might have to do a part 2, y'all, because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to Rudy Eugene's story. It's already 2 hours. It's all good though, because I feel like I gave y'all a lot to chew on already, but I know y'all want to get into this story with this dude. So I'm going to try to go quick with it, kind of, because I'm almost done the demon preliminary part. So we're going to look at within the next 5 years, will you realize true love and success? And I love that smile. You got a winning smile right there. You got that Colgate smile. We could do that too. Toothpaste brand. I'm trying to think. What type of toothpaste do I got in my bathroom? I think I've been getting Crest for the past few years. The Crest with it got the enamel stuff with it has like it looked like it got diamonds on the box. Kong. J. Kong. Make me think of that rapper. Jaquan. What's that rapper name? Jaquan. Wasn't he the one that did Tipsy? Now everybody in the club get tipsy. Now everybody in the club get tipsy. And you can't get tipsy with this Ace of Pentacles. Yes, you got the Ace of Pentacles. So you will be successful within 5 years. Yes. That could be love and success. Both of those. You could just look at it in 5 years. Your life is going to be much different than it is now. And it's going to be for the better. Colgate ain't bad. Some of y'all bougie people probably get that Tom's toothpaste because y'all don't like that what is that? They be putting that fluoride in that toothpaste. That fluoride is not good for you. But yeah, right now I do the Crest. Thank you, Janelle. Do you have a question, Janelle? Thank you so much for your Cash App. Sarah gotta use Tom's. Sarah, you know you gotta guzzle down a whole gallon of water after that Tom's toothpaste. Miguel love him sometimes too. I know, I really got to get off the fluoride toothpaste. All right, Janelle, what's your question? Post your question, please. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I saw that charcoal toothpaste. Yeah, I heard charcoal is good for your teeth. And it's a good deodorizer too. I never heard of Hello toothpaste. But I like that name because it gives you enough confidence to say hello to people. Hello. Hey, Nicole for the soul. Soul in the hole. Make me think of that song. Soul in the hole. Times. Somebody gets Target brand toothpaste. That Target brand is probably just as good as Colgate and Crest. All right, so I'm going to go. How do you feel about that, J. Kong? I'm going to go one more. We're going to back it up to 3 years. Will you meet success in 3 years? While I wait for, who posted that question? Janelle. Yeah, so I'm waiting for your question, Janelle. Kritika uses Colgate Max Fresh. I used to use that Max Fresh, especially the one with the mouthwash in it. We get into the demon stuff. I just had to answer some questions because people posted super chats and Cash Apps. All right, Janelle said, what do you see for me relocating? Now, do you have a time frame or is it just open? Is this like an open-ended question, like you really don't have it down yet? Oh, I get you with that song, Soul in the Hole. If you never heard that song, that's a real good song. Look it up. It's called Soul in the Hole. The girl that's singing the hook is Takitha, and it's by the Wu-Tang All-Stars. Yeah, that's the shit. Soul in the Hole. So, if I could play that song without getting messing up the YouTube, I would play it real quick just so you can hear how it sounds. That's the shit though. So I got 7 of Pentacles, which lets me know that you're rather on the fence about relocating. And it lets me know that you got to do some more research in terms of where you're trying to relocate before you could really feel confident and comfortable. So I will say that until you do some legwork, you're not really in a good position right now to be relocating. But again, did you answer my question? Oh, you said, wait a minute, where is it at? You just answered it. You said hopefully by this year or early next year. I don't see this year. So early next year is better. I don't see you being ready this year. So hopefully that helps. That answers your question. And then you said, yes, I'm not sure where I'm headed. Yup, that's that 7 of Pentacles all day. Hey, Willow. Oh, yeah, I used to brush my teeth with baking soda. And sometimes I will buy the Arm & Hammer toothpaste. I love the taste of baking soda. There's some things I just love the taste of as a kid. And I do have that Taurus South Node. So, like, I like the taste of baking soda. I like the taste of deodorant. Don't knock me for that. But as a kid, I remember I got a taste of some deodorant and I was like, yo, that chalky taste is kind of nice. What other weird thing that I like the taste of? Well, this wasn't the taste, but I love the smell of mothballs growing up. All right, SA sent me a Cash App, and you asked, when and how will I meet the man I'm to be with? I'm supposed to be with. I'll say that. When and how? Lord, have mercy. You making me work tonight for these coins. I did have a strange addiction. I love the smell of mothballs. I love this, and this just shows you my Taurus South Node. I love the smell of Coast soap so much. I remember one time my dad bought some Coast soap. Remember Coats, the eye opener? It's that blue bar with the white stripes in it. So one time he had opened the bar of Coast soap and I got the wrapper and I just kept on inhaling it. And I was inhaling it and inhaling it. And then I like burned my nostrils up. And my nostrils was burning for like the rest of the night. And I was like, I'll never do that again. Yeah. What else did I love the smell? Of course, gasoline, but I'm not the only one that loves the smell of gas and gasoline. And like I said during another live stream, I used to love the smell of that Absorbine Junior. I don't even know if they still make it. I might have to buy me some just for the memories. But my dad used to get this stuff called Absorbine Junior, and you would put it on your sore muscles. And god damn it, that shit smelled good. You could almost wear that shit as cologne. That's if you on the unique end, you want to smell a little unique. Put some Absorbine Junior on there. People going to be like sniffing you like, oh my God, I love that smell. It smells so familiar. What is that? What else did I like? So you like the smell of ammonia, Scorpio, forever? All right. So you said when. First, I'm going to see when you will meet this man you're supposed to be with. So I'm going to look at a 3-year time frame for you. You like the way Bengay smelled too? What else? I did like the way paste tasted. I remember I got a little taste of paste in kindergarten. And I was like, this ain't bad. I didn't eat paste like some kids, but I did get a little taste of it. Also, Play-Doh. I love the smell of Play-Doh. I loved it so much. I wish I could eat Play-Doh when I was a kid. King of Pentacles. Oh my God, what did I say? 3 years? You got the King of Pentacles, girl. You gonna meet this man in 3 years. Within 3 years' time. Richard, where are you at again? I gotta pull up your question again. You gonna meet this man that you're supposed to be with in 3 years' time. And then you said where you're gonna meet him? Let me go back to your question. I gotta find it again. Uh-oh, I lost your question. I gotta go back. I like that King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, he be there to stay. He may take a long time to warm up to you. He may take a long time to commit, not commit, but I'll say, put that ring on your finger. But you know what? Once he's there, he ain't going nowhere, which is good. So there's your man within 3 years. But I'm trying to find your question so I can answer the other. Oh, that's why, because it's in my email. I'm tripping. And then you said, will I meet him? Wait a minute, when and how? Okay, how? What else did I used to like? I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes, how would I get dirt in my mouth? I'm trying to see. But I remember one time as a kid, I got a little dirt in my mouth. I don't know how, but I was like, I like the way that gritty stuff filled between my teeth. I was a weird kid like that. I wasn't too weird, but I think all of us as kids, we had a little weird things about us. I was never a booger eater though. I know some of y'all was eating y'all boogers when y'all was young. I never went that far. I didn't eat boogers. Remember that song by Biz Markie, Picking Boogers? He said, just last night, while Kane was getting ready, I slipped a little green one inside his spaghetti, picking boogers. And that beat was dope. It was like do 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 picking boogers. Yeah, y'all know some of y'all was picking boogers, had a little booger collection in your drawer, in your sock drawer. This booger I picked in January, and this booger I picked last week, and this little booger I picked yesterday. And this little booger, look, these are some little booger twins. All right, wait. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep on distracting myself. Little say eating boogers is actually good. Here you go. All right. What was I look? Oh, she said when or how. That's what she said. And this little booger right here cried wee all the way home. Ain't the little piggies, it's the little boogies. Remember that though? Remember when your mom would do the little piggies with your feet? This little piggy, wait a minute, how it go? This little piggy went to the store and this little piggy stayed home or something. And this little piggy ate roast beef and this little piggy had none. So I got the 5 of Pentacles in terms of how you going to meet this guy. So it looks like it's probably going to be a damsel in distress situation where you're going to be in need and he's going to help you out in some type of way. And that's how y'all are going to hit it off. Oh, yeah, some of y'all was picking scabs and eating them too. Like Callie said. Callie said, the scabs, I don't. Wait a minute, you said the scabs, I don't about eating them, but picking at them, yeah. I like to do that instead. Yeah, I was never a scab picker. That like makes me cringe. A Young Soul said, yes, I was a nose picker as a kid. Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Go up your nose and pick a winner. Picking boogers. Yes. Look, sometimes boogers are the only thing a kid has as a, what do you call that? A security blanket. Sometimes boogers are a kid's security blanket. Shit. Sometimes that's all a kid has to get through a day. Picking boogers. All right. We got to get back into this presentation, but I got to do one more. You said, will I ever find true happiness? Thank you for your super chat, Horn Siren. Oh, siren, I think. You're a siren. You be drowning men. You be fooling them, calling them to the water. We can touch the water. Bitch, I walk on top of water. And then you be drowning his ass. That's what them sirens was doing. They would call them men that was at sea, call them out. The men would see this beautiful woman, and then they would drown their asses. That mythology actually spans throughout different cultures. There's an African mythology that deals with them too. And I think one in the Caribbean. That's why the mothers be telling their kids, don't go close to that water. Don't get near that water. They gonna pull you in. We can touch the water. Bitch, I walk on top of water. All right. And see, that could be a form of demons too. There's female demons. There's male demons, as we're about to get in a minute. I got the Fool. So you will find true happiness, but you got to understand that nobody can be responsible for your happiness. Okay, Bilky baby, please repost your question. Like, do it right now, as fast as you can. Because I got to segue into another, I got to get back into this demon thing. You got the Fool. So that's yes, you will find true happiness, but you got to understand that nobody is responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your own happiness. So there's going to have to be something that you find that really makes you happy, regardless of what's going on in your life, for you to really find that happiness. Tasting your tears. I did used to like to taste my tears. I ain't even gonna lie. That little saltiness. Yes. That's your little salt lick. Thank you for the super chat, Hey. So Hey said, will I get engaged this year? And then you said, also, will I have a successful real estate business? Will you get engaged this year? Let's hope you already got somebody picked out. Thank you, Kritika. Will you get engaged this year? I got the 6 of Pentacles for that. So it looks like the guy that's supposed to engage, propose to you is still not done choosing who he really wants. I'm just putting it out there. You better check your man. That's all I'm saying, because he hasn't made his choice yet. He's still not sure who he wants. I'm just saying, that is a love triangle card, and that's a card where somebody's not getting, enough attention because they off seeing somebody else. That's all I'm saying. Now, will you have a successful real estate business? That's what I'm saying, Scorpio forever. Fuck these dudes in 2021. I don't need you. I'm getting hot. I'm gonna have to take this shirt off. Thank God my camera ain't on. Cause y'all would see some cinnamon rolls, honey. 5 of Swords, which tells me that you about to kill it in the real estate market. Now, some people, if they're not that familiar with tarot, when they see that 5 of Swords, they think it's a negative thing. Sometimes that 5 of Swords mean you winning. You beating out all the competition. So you're going to have those other real estate agents running away with their tail between their legs. Yes, I did say cinnamon rolls. I ain't ashamed. Shit. But you know what? They're going to be going by next year. I promise that. My mind hasn't connected with my body yet for me to really get back on my exercise bike, but it'll get there. I'm getting there. I'm going to get there. Trust me, by next year, I'm going to be slim and trim again, because I don't tolerate too much of this. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting real fed up with myself, like real fed up. All right. Like, I'm about to have a talk with myself later tonight. Like, yo, like, this is getting out of hand. Like, really. Now, you said Haitians believe in them? Oh, yeah, Bilky. Last one. And then I'm going to get back to this demonic shit. So last one. Yeah, cinnamon tastes good. Yes. And some men don't mind a little cinnamon. Some men don't mind a little cinnabon. Wow, wait. Somebody say you lost 400 pounds? Oh, 40 pounds. I was about to say, God damn. Tarot with BB said, I lost 40 pounds from the bike and the elliptical. Yes. Congratulations, because losing weight is not easy for most people. So if you can lose 40 pounds, man, you're my hero. You're my role model. And I have like gained weight. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm like one of those people that go back and forth. Sometimes I'm real small. Sometimes I'm thick. Sometimes I'm like pushing it. Like you need to get your ass in the gym, like for real. On a good day, I wear a size 4. Like that's my ideal size, because I'm on the small end. But if I don't be careful, I could blow up to a size 8, 10. My biggest size, and this is really embarrassing for me because I'm short. And again, I'm used to being like on a smaller end. So I think my biggest size, I think I was ready to end my life when I had to buy a size. It was not a 16, but it must have been a 12. What is it, 10, 12? I was like, shit, where you at, Bilky? Yeah, post your question. But yeah, ideally, I'm supposed to be a size 4. If I want to be more on the thick end, size 6 is fine with me. Like between 4 and 6, that's where I'm supposed to be. I know. I talk too loud, don't I? It's terrible. All right, Bilky, where you at? Because I got to finish this live stream. Bilky. Connect said, I finally got fed up and hired a personal trainer. That's what I was thinking I might have to do. But what if me and this person, I guess I'm going to have to do a reading on this person. I'm going to be like, I'm going to need your birth date. I'm going to need your birth time, your city and state. They're going to be like, why do you need all that? I'm going to be like, because I'm going to pull your chart and see if we're compatible, because I can't just work with anybody. I know. I'm trying to wait for Bilky to post her questions so that I could get back to the demons. Bilky, where you at? You said thank you, so you must already posted it. All right, let me scroll back up. Yup, I got my exercise bike just sitting here talking about, I miss you. I'm talking to you, baby. I miss you. It was saying, I thought that you would be forever, but I guess someone took my place. Took the place of me loving you and making love for you all through the night. All right. I'm still trying to find you, Bilky. You're going to have to repost it. I'm sorry. So you said you posted it, and I'm still trying to find it. Let me scroll back up. My exercise bike be singing, "Let's ride all night." My exercise bike be like, "I need a ride or die, bitch." All right, I'm still trying to find it. I guess my eyes are like deceiving me. Oh my God, where is it? Maybe you reposted it by now. Let me see. Okay, here you go. Thank God. Oh, wait. So you said, so 3 days, thanks for reposting it. Oh, look at that pretty baby girl. So 3 days ago, I got a molar tooth extracted because of a failed root canal. I don't want an implant, but I think I need it. What do the cards say about the tooth? I've had many trouble about it. So let me just read this again. I got a molar tooth extracted because of a failed root canal. Damn, what you got in Capricorn? I don't want an implant, but I think I need it. What do the cards say about that tooth? I've had many troubles with it. I had to get a tooth extracted because of a failed root canal too, and I'm a Capricorn moon rising. I've had a couple of bad experiences with dentists. I don't ever go to an African dentist. I'm sorry, any Africans up in here, but y'all are brutal with the teeth. I went to an African dentist one time, and I swear it felt like she didn't even use Novocaine or something. She gave me a root canal. She scared me so bad with the pain that I didn't even go back to get it filled, and that's how the tooth cracked. Like, my tooth just cracked, and that's how I only had like jagged pieces of tooth left, and I had to get it extracted. And I remember when I was groaning in pain, and the African lady was like, "It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Wait, it's just like, it's not that bad." And I was like, "Oh my God, what is she talking about?" All right, let's see. But I was like, never again. Okay, I got Page of Wands. That tells me that you should go ahead. Well, again, I can't give you dental advice because I'm not a dentist, but that makes me think of a dental implant. If you can see what I'm seeing, and if you want to get the image, just Google Page of Wands, Rider Waite. The way he has it, that actually looks like a tooth because he has his hand right up. I mean, it looks like a penis too, but I mean, he has his hand like up where that could be like an implant. So it does look like you're going to have to just since you already got it extracted, you probably are going to need an implant, especially if it's in an area of your mouth where you really need that tooth. See, I got my tooth extracted on the side of my mouth, so I didn't have to get an implant because I really don't need that tooth. And if I get a replacement tooth, it's going to be gold right up in there. So you got the Page of Wands, so you can pull up that card and see what it looks like. But that's what it looks like. You're going to have to get. That's if you really care about your dental, your dental game. Hey, Delisha. So you love the smell of mothballs too? Hell yeah, I love that smell. I think once I ain't gonna lie, when I was a young adult, I did buy mothballs just because I wanted to smell them again. And then you said something, what should I do? What should I do? Also, I'm flying to Ethiopia this Friday, and it was sudden. How will the trip go? Okay, let's see. Root canals are demonic. When I got it, and some people say they're horrible, other people be like, I didn't feel a thing. I don't know if she didn't put enough Novocaine up in there or something, but I felt everything with that root canal. It felt like she was driving nails up my skull. That's how bad it felt. And she was trying to tell me, it doesn't hurt. I was like, oh my God. Okay, so how will your trip to Ethiopia go? That's a long ass trip, girl. Damn. How many hours is that? Like 12 hours? You got the Knight of Cups. So that tells me that the trip is going to go well. So let me just type this in. You got the Knight of Cups. That's really good. That's a good travel card. Especially if you're traveling to see loved ones, family, friends. So it looks like you're going to have a good time. It looks like it's going to go well, even though it's on the spur of the moment. Just be flexible because there might be some changes that need to be made in terms of plans. All right. Did I get everybody so far? Because I got to get back into this demonic shit. And we're approaching 3 hours. And I still got work to do. I got work to do. You say your biggest size is a 20. Oh, you're talking about weight. Yeah. And of course, the older you get, the harder it is to lose the weight. All right, let's get back into this demon stuff. All right. All right. There's no time to change your mind. The sun has come and you've been left behind. A man and wife asleep in bed. She hears a noise and turns her head. She's gone. I wish we'd all been ready. Okay, now some more about demons before we get into the story with Rudy Eugene. Now let me stop. I'm not even going to pay attention to these dislikes. So what is a demon? So a demon is a wayward, deviant, or evil human without a body or conscience. So let me just repeat that. What is a demon? A demon is a wayward, deviant, or evil human without a body or a conscience, which means that if you are evil in this life and you die, and if you don't want to fully cross over, you could become a demon. And I think some people willfully become demons when they cross over. So know that demons are humans without bodies, and they have emotions just like we do. They have thought patterns. They have, they have desires just like we do. Oh, no veneers because she don't even have roots. She don't have the root of that tooth no more. He took it out from the rooter to the tutor. All right, now demons have free will. Just like we have free will, demons have free will. So keep that in mind. And not everybody has the same level of free will. Just think about somebody that was born with cerebral palsy. Of course, they don't have as much free will as somebody that wasn't born with cerebral palsy, or somebody that's born blind. Of course, they don't have as much free will as somebody that was born with vision. But it's the same as demons. Some demons have more free will, others don't. Some demons can be bound to things. There's a whole segment of the population that are into collecting spirits. I talked about this before in another live stream. They will bind spirits to different objects, especially jewelry, like rings and necklaces and stuff like that. So if you wanna own a demon, I don't recommend saying own, because they're like people. They're like you and me, so they're really not meant to be owned. But if you want a connection with a demon, there are people that sell these rings and other pieces of jewelry and other things that where they have bound a demon to it. And they got to go through this elaborate ritual and spell and all this stuff to bind the demon to this ring. A lot of times, instead of calling it demons, they call them jinns. So I used to do readings for this guy, black guy, and he would collect jinns. Let me just type that in here if y'all don't know what I'm saying, because sometimes I have a hard time enunciating my words. So there's this term called jinns, and it's an Islamic word, and it means demon. But jinn also is short for genie. So you heard about the genie in the bottle. You heard about that 1,001 Nights, Aladdin and all that stuff with the genie. The genie is a jinn. Yeah, there was a movie called Jinn. The genie is a jinn. The genie is a demon. That's all the genie is. So when you see that Aladdin movie with the genie, and you notice that genie was like mischievous. He was kind of devilish. And he was real. He had sugar in his tank too, if you remember that Aladdin movie. That was a gay demon. But anyway, the genie is a demon. It's just a certain type of demon. And they could be tricksters even when it comes to granting you wishes. And yes, some demons you can have under your command where they grant you wishes. So, personal demons versus literal demons. So So personal demons are born through early traumatic experiences or past life trauma. So you can carry personal demons over from your past life into this current lifetime. You can have personal demons through early traumatic experiences like being molested, being abused, things like that, being around demonic influences. Personal demons are just negative thought forms. But be careful. Be careful of what you think. Be careful of what you say. Thoughts matter. If you want to change your life, change your mindset. If you're negative all the time, those people that are negative all the time, they could be too much living according to their personal demons or the dictates of their personal demons. So again, personal demons are thought forms, and the Jews call it golem. And I'm about to get into what a golem is in a minute. So again, personal demons are negative thought forms, but know that even thoughts are entities. Thoughts are energy. Keep that in mind. Also, personal demons can manifest as personality disorders. And personal demons can be projected onto people. So if you're not acting out your personal demons, you could attract people into your life that are basically embodying your personal demons. They become your demons in the flesh. Also can manifest as personal demons in the flesh, just like I said. Moving along. So here's the part about the golem. So golem, in Jewish folklore, an image endowed with life. That's what a golem is. Basically, it's a monster that's being created. So golem, according to Jewish folklore, is an image endowed with life. The term is used in the Bible, Psalms 139:16, and in Talmudic literature. I'll get to your question in a minute. Thank you so much for your Cash App at 180. Okay. And in Talmudic literature to refer to an embryonic or incomplete substance. It assumed its present connotation in the Middle Ages when many legends arose of wise men who could bring effigies to life by means of a charm. Remember I talked about the jewelry? By means of a charm or a combination of letters forming a sacred word. And think about the term spelling and the word spell in terms of magic, but spelling in terms of words. So let me just read this part again. It assumed its present connotation in the Middle Ages when many legends arose of wise men who could bring effigies to life by means of a charm or a combination of letters forming a sacred word or one of the names of God. The letters written on paper were placed in the golem's mouth or affixed on its head. You ever see those Jews that are at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem and they got them black boxes on their head? That's what this is referring to. So when you got those Jewish students that are, they got the black boxes. These are your Orthodox Jews. They got the black boxes that they wear on their forehead. They're basically calling them monsters, and they're saying they're under control of the rabbis are basically. Now, the most famous tale involves the golem created by 16th century Rabbi Judah Lo ben Bezalel of Prague. It was the basis for Gustav Meyrink's novel Der Golem, and for a classic of German silent films, which provided many details on the movement and behavior of man-made monsters that were later adapted in the popular American horror films on the Frankenstein theme. So the Frankenstein movie, the whole Frankenstein theme comes from the golem, which is basically where you can create a monster or a demon by putting certain words together or using charms. So that whole Frankenstein, that's the monster that's created by man. Man is creating a monster. And think about the Jewish connection. The Jews created Hollywood. They're the ones that founded Hollywood, and they still create Hollywood. I mean, they still control Hollywood. These horror movies stem from the Jews. Because again, if we're talking about Jewish mysticism, which includes Kabbalah, and some of y'all know about the Kabbalah, some of y'all probably practiced it or y'all studied it. The Kabbalah, on the dark end, there's a dark side of the Kabbalah, and you can, use it for your advantage. but also that, you know, if you just read about Jewish mysticism, it gets very deep about the demonology and all that. So let's move on. Now, literal demons are humans without bodies who seek to create mischief, harm, confusion, or depression. Most of them, I'll say. Now, not all demons are evil. Some are just bored and want to be entertained. Again, they're just like people. Some are extremely destructive and are entertained by death and misery. Not all demons are evil. Some are actually rather benign. Some demons can be very helpful, but they may require a sacrifice in return. Sacrifice. So when you hear about these celebrities making these sacrifices, a lot of times it's because they've invoked a demon and that demon is working on their behalf. That demon is helping them to become successful. Now, demons are opportunists. They will enter a body if the body is in a weakened or heavily intoxicated state. So demons can be quite bored with living in the astral realm. So if they see an opportunity to inhabit a human body, they're not going to pass up on that opportunity. So when you're drunk, when you're heavily inebriated, or if you're very sick, like if you saw that movie Insidious about that very sick child that was going in and out of consciousness, he had a demon just hovering over him because the demon was waiting until he got so weak that he could inhabit his body. There's a lot of truth in that movie. Here are some examples of chief demons, also known as fallen angels. So if y'all know about the Bible and just Christianity in terms of the mythology with Satan and, you know, the angels and stuff like that, well, you have, what was it? Was it a third of the angels decided to follow Satan, and they became the fallen angels, and they were consigned to this earth. Like they had to stay on this earth. They could no longer be back in heaven. And that's why a lot of them are prone to create havoc upon this earth. So you got your fallen angels, some of them, and all of these angels have names. When I tell you this shit is real, and if you go to the story about King Solomon, when King Solomon was building his temple, he actually enlisted the help of demons. The reason why, the way he found out about these demons, really, he was meant, see, King Solomon, he was a hoe. They talk about how he had like thousands of concubines. Concubines are like the women in the harem. So King Solomon, he was a man of God. He was one of God's chosen, but he had weaknesses just like everybody else does. So one of King Solomon's weaknesses was women. And God had told him not to deal with women that were not, you know, of the holy, I'll say he told him not to deal with unholy women, which were pagan women at that time. So Solomon started messing around with pagan women, and these pagan women taught him some of the mysteries of some of these black magic and demonic and stuff like that. So he started to summon these demons, and these demons helped him to create the Temple of Solomon. So here are some of the names of these demons. So Asmodeus, that's the demon of lust. Baal, that's one of the princes of the underworld. Jewish parents of the Bible sacrificed their children to Baal before being introduced to Mosaic law. So that's in the Bible. In the Bible, they talk about how the parents of these children, before they met Moses, before they fell under Mosaic law, they were sacrificing their children to Baal, the demon. Lilith. A lot of people know about Lilith. A lot of y'all talk about Lilith. A lot of y'all ask about Lilith. Well, Lilith is a demon, according to Jewish demonology. And she was known as Adam's first wife. And she's a symbol of rebellion because she supposedly rebelled against God. She didn't want to have to be submissive to Adam. So she was like, man, fuck you. I'm off. Going to do my own thing. Lilith is the demon of miscarriages, abortions, and the death of children. There's other mythologies around the world that deal with this female figure that's responsible for abortions, miscarriages, and the death of children. Then we have Azazel. Somebody already mentioned this. Azazel. Azazel is known as the Prince of Hell. Some people say that he's like the chief demon that falls right under Satan. Some actually ascribe him to being Satan himself. Boon. Boon is a three-headed dragon type demon that will bestow riches and wisdom. And from what I heard, Boon is one of the demons that's not that destructive, that you could actually perhaps summon and this demon help you out. But I don't know. I definitely wouldn't mess around with demons unless you really know what you're doing. And then you have the demon Payman. Payman teaches all arts, philosophy, and sciences, and secret things. He can reveal all mysteries of the earth, wind, and water, what the mind is, and everything the conjurer wants to know. Gives good familiars dignities and confirms them, binds men to the conjurer's will. If Payman is sighted alone, some offerings or sacrifice must be done, and he will accept it. So yeah, when we see these celebrity family members dying mysteriously or dying suddenly right after they get put on, like one of the most famous ones was what's her name? Oh, why can't I? She played in Dreamgirls. Jennifer Hudson. That was a real big one, because didn't she like lost like 3 of her family members in that situation? So she could be an example of her having to make a sacrifice after agreeing to be aligned with this demon, getting help from the demon. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind, a lot of these celebrities, they don't know what they're getting into. They don't realize that they're getting the help from a demon. It's because they're working in an industry that is filled with demons, that is under demonic influence, that this stuff happens. So you don't even gotta personally have a relationship with this demon for you to have to deal with these sacrifices if you get in that industry. And that's the same thing I was saying. Like if you become a drug dealer, you don't have to make a pact with the demon or the devil yourself, but you are existing in a demonically influenced type of lifestyle. Same with being a pimp, being a prostitute, being in a gang. You may not be summoning a demon on your own, but you're surrounded by the demonic influences just being around that type of energy. Patricia says Steven Tyler is under demonic influence. Wow, you believe so? Somebody else. Who was it? George Harrison? No, not George Harrison. I always get him mixed up with the other dude. What's his name? From the 60s. Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan even has he has an interview where he basically admits that he sold his soul years ago, and that's why he still can't, that's why he can't retire. And he called him the commander in chief. Yeah, the Kardashians, Rolling Stones, the Carters, yup. Johnny Depp, yup. Kim Porter. Yeah, there's a lot of sacrifices that go on. You got to ask yourself, why are there so many deaths in the industry? Tupac, Biggie Smalls, Jam Master Jay. Who's the ones recently? Nipsey Hussle. Think about all these people that are dying. Sometimes the sacrifice will be the celebrity themselves. Sometimes it'll be a child of theirs. Mike Tyson, he lost his little girl. She was 3 years old. So again, you don't have to summon a demon. You just gotta, if you're in that industry and you're benefiting from the demon's work, yeah, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. That's why you got to be careful about getting in the industry and mixing around with some of these people. Kumani said, I was a high-paid escort, and yes, you summon lots of demons that way. Tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Chrissy Teigen, she just looked like a demon herself. She looked like one of them Indonesian type of demons with the mask. Oh, yeah, we got to get on this Meghan Markle thing. So when I do my live stream, because I'm going to try to do a live stream every Thursday from now on. So when I do my live stream on Thursday, I'm going to try to, we're going to get on this Meghan Markle situation. You said Usher and his sons, Amari Hardwick. Oh, he lost his children? Oh, wow. Tom Petty, Katy Perry. Katy Perry admitted that she She said she started off, and you can see this clip on this interview she did. She admitted that she started off wanting to be a Christian singer. And then she said that didn't work out. So, and she said this so nonchalant. She was like, and she is a Scorpio. She was like, so I sold my soul to the devil. And that's what she just said. And she said it with all seriousness. So some of them will purposely do it. Other of them are just guilty by association. So they fall under demonic influences. And because they become rich and famous, somebody got to be sacrificed. All right, let me continue on. I think now we're about to get in, but somebody sent me a super chat. So let me answer this question real quick first, and then we'll get into this story. So you said, this is from @180. You said, should I continue with Scorpio moon and sun boyfriend? Speaking of the demonic, Lord have mercy. Have you looked under his bed lately? And yes, if you got planets in Scorpio, or if you're a Scorpio rising, or Scorpio's in your 8th house, you're just naturally more susceptible to demonic activity, demonic influences. If you got Pluto rising, hell, if you got Pluto in your 12th house, you got to be, a little bit careful. Scorpio in your 12th house too. So I got the 9 of Cups, which tells me that this guy, wait a minute. Oh, there's your question. This guy is not going to change for you. So if you got complaints about him and he hasn't really, made any changes, that 9 of Cups means he's content to keep things the way they are, and he's not going to change. So I say, do not continue with this Scorpio moon and sun boyfriend. He got you right where he wants you, and he ain't trying to do anything to keep you. I'll say that. And he thinks that you ain't going nowhere. So you got a surprise for him. Don't listen to them. Said, I'm a Scorpio moon in the 1st house, and I've had some weird, unexplainable situations. Yup, that's what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, a lot of people with Scorpio energy like that, you're going to attract those demons in the flesh. And one of the most common demons in the flesh are those ones that are child predators. Most of them, if I would, venture to say, are demons in the flesh, like literal demons in the flesh. Some of your worst ones. So, yeah, and there's a lot of them. And like I said, when Pluto was in Scorpio back in the 80s and early 90s, that's when a lot of demons came from that 4th dimension. Lady Gaga, that's a demon in the flesh too. You can't tell me she ain't. And that's a man in a skirt as well. But yeah, so when Pluto was in Scorpio, all these demons, more demons was coming from the 4th dimension. And then when Saturn was in Scorpio, that was when a lot of demons were taking office. Like you always had demons in the upper echelons of, society and also in government. But it's like the demons just totally took over the government back when Saturn was in Scorpio. More demons was coming forth from the 4th dimension as well. So Dream said, how do we ask a question? So you can either donate $5 via Super Chat or Cash App. My Cash App is running right, on this banner. It's rolling along. So that's how you ask a question. So you get a 1-card reading for a $5 donation. If you donate $10 or more, you can get a 2-question reading. I mean, 2 cards. All right, so let's continue on. So that is basically dealing with demons. So hopefully, you got an understanding of how the demonic world works now. And I'm not an expert, so there's still some things that I may not even know about how the demonic world works. Now, let's get into this Rudy Eugene. So here's his chart right here. Now, I don't know his birth time, unfortunately, but he was born on February 4th, 1981. Jackson Memorial Hospital, Florida. And remember I said about the signs Aquarius and Pisces, I said that those are non-personal or impersonal signs. They're depersonalized signs. And with that, it can cause the person to easily dissociate and to become a monster if on the dark end or when you have the perfect recipe for creating some type of monster. So this is the basis of this case study tonight. Rudy Eugene. I believe Rudy Eugene, who was also known as the Miami Zombie, as the Causeway Cannibal, was a monster. I believe he was a creation. He was created to be a monster. And again, I will be putting together my Patreon account soon, because I'm going to be doing more stuff like this on my Patreon account, especially on the conspiracy end. Now, remember, I said Aquarius is the sign of depersonalization. So let's go through some of the traits of Aquarius, especially on the dark end. So he had an Aquarius stellium consisting of Venus, his south node, his moon, sun, and Mars. So that's heavy, heavy Aquarius energy. That's Aquarius on steroids. Also, Aquarius is the sign of experimentation. Aquarius is the experiment. So let's cut right to the chase. I see this situation as being an experiment, a government experiment, a CIA experiment. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but a lot of these high-profile crimes are not by coincidence, or they're not by random. A lot of these are pre-orchestrated to create some type of response from the public. There's this saying called, how do you say it? It means order out of chaos, but it's called something. Problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic. That's what it's called. Problem, reaction, solution. Just keep that in mind. So again, you got to kind of expand your mind with where I'm going with this. Oh, I'll pull up a picture of him. So the experiment, Aquarius deals with experimentation, science experiments. Aquarius is also the sign of depersonalization, like I said. So if you can manipulate an Aquarius in terms of an evil, sinister, in an evil, sinister way, you can create a monster quite easily with that sign, because you're already dealing with depersonalization. Alien. Aquarius is the sign of things that are alien, inhumane. Automatons. Aquarius can produce an automaton. An automaton can be like a zombie. Aquarius is that detached sign, detached from the human experience, or detached from emotion, detached from any sense of empathy. Also perverse. Aquarius is perverse. Aquarius deals with things that are shocking. And also Aquarius deals with nakedness, nudity. Yes, Lilith, he was running around butt-ass naked, butt booty hole naked. He got out of his car, he stripped off all his clothes, and he was running around naked until he came upon that guy. Nakedness is Aquarius. And then Aquarius deals with that which is strange. Now, his Venus was at the 0 degree of Aquarius. That 0 degree brings a multitude of possibilities. It basically is where fate and destiny is compounded, because we're talking about Aquarius. 0 degree of Aquarius energy. Again, that depersonalized sign. So you could say the floodgates were open dealing with this guy. Anything goes with respect to Aquarius if we're talking about the 0 degree of Aquarius. Also, being wide open to the etheric plane, or the ether. The ether contains anything, and if you can access the ether, you can manipulate a person's mental state. Very powerful antenna. This person has a very powerful antenna with Venus at the 0 degree of Aquarius, especially when dealing with other people, which means that people can easily get inside his head and suggest things. Potential for sociopathic tendencies, especially with Venus squaring his Pluto. But who is representing Pluto? See, his Pluto is in Libra. Libra deals with other people. Libra also deals with the law. Libra deals with intervention. So you have to ask yourself, with his Venus squaring Pluto, who's representing Pluto? I see that as being the CIA or some type of black ops organization that has that conducts these type of experiments. Pluto in Libra is an enemy. Libra is one of the signs of the military, especially in terms of your special forces military, your Green Berets, your Navy SEALs. Now, I'm not trying to say he was in the military, but I'm saying he was a military experiment, if you get what I'm saying. And Pluto has the power and it corrupts Venus. So Pluto is dealing with somebody or something that has power over him. Pluto is also representing that demonic influence, the demonic possession, demonic attachment. All right, moving on. Here's his chart again. Here's Pluto in Libra, making a square with Venus in Aquarius. Now, that would be called a dissociative square, but it's within enough distance to create that conflict between these two planets. And again, Pluto is representing other people. It can even represent like the CIA. If we're talking about Libra, Libra is one of the signs of the military. And yes, the military does they conduct black operations, meaning highly classified clandestine operations that never get leaked to the public unless somebody on the inside leaks this information. They do the same thing when it comes to UFOs, Area 51, all of that stuff. If you don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes with a lot of these military experiments and these military projects, Project Monarch, Project Paperclip, MK Ultra, all this stuff. Yes, somebody just mentioned it, Miguel. Rudy Eugene was probably an escaped MK Ultra experiment. We're here. We're on the same wavelength, Miguel. That's exactly what I'm getting at. All right, let's continue on. So his sun, moon, south node in Aquarius were squaring Chiron and Taurus. What did I tell you about sun square Chiron, y'all? Remember I did the live stream on sun square Chiron, and I said it can produce a depraved individual. I said it's one of the red flags and deal breakers. It's one of the chief red flags. Well, Rudy Eugene had sun square Chiron. Sun in Aquarius squaring Chiron and Taurus. And what did I say? I said Taurus is one of the signs that comes into play when it comes to possession. I said that during my last live stream when we were talking about demons and things. So these squares involving his Aquarius stellium and Taurus can make him depraved, deviant, sociopathic, appalling, detached from reality, exceptional circumstances, possession, displaying zombie-like behavior, chewing off the guy's face, cannibalistic acts, seriously wounding a man. So these squares are also coming into play in terms of what he did. Now, because of what's in his chart, it's also showing that he's a perfect recipe for some type of MK Ultra type of, or you can even call them a sleeper cell. A sleeper cell is like a domestic terrorist that is triggered by like a word or some type of sound or something, and then they go into murderous mode. They go into homicidal mode. Can behave as if he is normal until triggered neurologically. When you're looking at Aquarius, you want to you think about the circulatory system, but Aquarius also rules the central nervous system, which includes all the neurons in the brain. So this is what I mean, being an Aquarius, having this heavy Aquarius stellium, is showing you he was the perfect Manchurian candidate. Look that term up too. Watch that movie. He was the perfect candidate to be able to trigger him neurologically, trigger neurons in his brain to create a certain type of response. Now, again, the same sun, moon, south node in Aquarius opposing the Leo north node. Leo represents men, among other things. So this could represent the guy that he attacked, savagely attacking a man in an inhumane way, being on autopilot. Because again, that Aquarius energy, it can make him an automaton. It can make him act like a robot. It can make him act in very inhumane ways. And also, again, because Aquarius is such a depersonalized sign, it's easy to lose yourself. Lacking free will. Leo is free will. Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. Aquarius is tyranny, which takes away free will. Being under the control of a group of scientists. That's what I see this opposition perhaps playing out. Being monitored, perhaps, by the group of scientists. Spending time living in a communal housing arrangement And again, he could have been living around other MK Ultra mind control slaves. Fight or flight response is easily triggered, becoming infamous as a zombie killer. All right. And again, that's his sun, moon, and south node in Aquarius opposing his Leo north node. Here's his chart again. There's that opposition. Let me wait till that chart comes up. But that just might be my computer because it looks delayed. All right. Moving along. Mars at the 28th degree of Aquarius conjunct Mercury at 3 degrees Pisces. This can produce a Manchurian candidate type of person where you get inside their head by whatever means and you have them commit certain acts, have them take certain courses of action. If you've never seen that movie Manchurian Candidate, there's two versions. There's the old version, I think from the 60s, and then there's one with Denzel Washington in it. I saw the one from Denzel Washington was in. Check that movie out. It's basically the Manchurian Candidate is a mind control slave that will do what its controllers want them to do. With this conjunction, he could have been a sleeper cell zombie. You can Google the term sleeper cell and research that. Also, I see this as him being on an experimental drug. The Aquarius part, again, that's the experimental. The drug part is the Pisces. Mercury in Pisces, that's like his mind is under the influence of a drug. And because it's at the 3rd degree of Pisces, that could be a heavy drug. 28th degree. 28th degree could deal with being under the influence of others. It's known as being the trusting lamb. He could have signed up for a special study. You know how they're always doing these drug studies? They're always doing these medical studies, and then they'll pay you a couple of $1,000s to sign up for this study. He could have been part of that. And there's been reports of these studies going horribly wrong in some cases. 28th degree of Aquarius, they did a study for the Rona vaccine. I wasn't supposed to say that word. Ether vax. 28th degree of Aquarius, being part of an experiment, perhaps for financial gain. Like I said, he did have Mars trine Pluto. That's the perfect aspect for somebody that agrees to become a science experiment or a medical experiment for money. 28th degree, that deals with him being in his car travel because he was driving in his car. He left his car on the freeway, I think. He stripped down naked, and then that's when he found the dude under the bridge and he attacked him. Now, Mars at the 28th degree of Aquarius conjunct Mercury at 3 degrees Pisces. Again, my theory was that he was given some heavy drugs, prescription drugs, namely SSRI drugs. Maybe it was a special cocktail of drugs that he was given. Now, if you remember the official story, they were trying to blame it on bath salts. I don't believe this had to do with those bath salts. I believe that he was given a special cocktail of certain antidepressants and other type of antipsychotic drugs, because when you mess around with those drugs, you can create a monster, like it says here. This is from SSRI Stories, and SSRI stands for Selective Serotonin Reuptake Inhibitors. And it has to do with messing around with the serotonin in the brain and all this stuff. I can't explain it, in detail because this is not my expertise. But if you go to this website, ssristories.org, you will see a number of horrific accounts of murder, mayhem, torture, destruction, all types of stuff, suicides, from people that is related to these SSRIs, these antidepressants. Thank you, Sarah. So it says here, many people who take these drugs report feeling detached, Aquarius. They lose their ability to empathize, their inhibitions, and their judgment. Sometimes they lose their natural fear of death. In short, their emotions are blunted. They do not make people happy. So antidepressant drugs do not make people happy. They really don't take away the depression. They just numb you. They blunt you. They make you detached. SSRI antidepressant pills free them from the restrictions imposed by feelings for others of conscience and self-control. Remember I said demons don't have a conscience? Of conscience and self-control. People's natural instincts that would normally make them feel horror at the idea of driving into oncoming traffic, jumping off of a cliff, stabbing someone else, stealing, hitting, or shooting can be diminished by these medications. So again, it can cause somebody to become detached. There could be the microchip thing going on too, Open 642. I feel you on that. While it might be a good thing, but you don't even need a microchip. All you need is a good combination of these drugs to make somebody totally lose their mind and become a monster. So again, go to that website, ssristories.org. You'll see hundreds of these stories. They really don't report on this stuff in the news because they don't want it to get out. They want people on these drugs. And the pharmaceutical industry, they make billions of dollars off of these drugs. You got to ask yourself, why were they starting to push these antidepressants on these commercials really heavily, starting in the 90s and going through to the 2000s? Now, it used to be illegal to post those commercials, to make commercials about these antidepressant drugs. Now, while it might be a good thing to reduce exam-related panic, when this same effect overrides reluctance to die because of unpleasant life events, it is not so positive. So again, I feel that a big contributing factor in this situation in Rudy Eugene's mental deterioration is the fact that he was on some SSRIs, some antidepressants. And guess what? They did find pills in his system, but they never talked about what those pills were. Now, Mars at the 28th degree of Aquarius conjunct Mercury at 3 degrees Pisces. Remember I said this can manifest as an experimental drug. It says antidepressants have so many dangerous and unpleasant side effects that doctors should be very careful in prescribing them. According to Dr. Daralee Mangan, the current David Braley and Nancy Gordon Chair in Family Medicine at McMaster University. Patients need to be better informed so that they do not develop unrealistic expectations about what pills can do to help them. Many people who take antidepressants would be much better served by a program of routine, vigorous exercise. So basically, they're saying that a lot of people are prescribed these drugs that shouldn't be. Now, more about the breakdown of his chart. Now, 3rd degree, Mercury at the 3rd degree, that deals with him studying. He was always studying the Bible, university, law. I say university because he could have been participating in a medical study that was carried out by a university, because universities are big with medical experiments and studies. Law, religion. He was a religious Jesus freak. Remember I said that demonic theme, that schizophrenic theme carries with it heavy religious themes. Social work. The reason why I mentioned social work, because this is the ironic thing. Did you know that the guy that got his face chewed off by Rudy Eugene and this guy, his name is Ronald Popo, they crossed paths with each other at an earlier date. Basically, Eugene was volunteering at a homeless shelter, and Ronald Popo just happened to be at the homeless shelter getting some services that day. That's not a coincidence. Come on now. If you ask me, they crossed paths because the people that were in charge of this experiment wanted them to cross paths because they had to show Eugene who his target was going to be. So it's like they made them come together for that brief period of time so that Eugene would be able to identify his target when he was triggered to go on that rampage. So again, don't you think it's a little fishy that they crossed paths with each other prior to this incident? And again, it wasn't like they knew each other closely, but they knew of each other. They crossed paths with each other because somehow, some way, Eugene was volunteering at the homeless shelter. Now, remember the situation with George Floyd, because I feel like George Floyd, there was this conspiracy with this too. Remember, they said George Floyd and the cop knew each other before the incident. When stuff like that happen, when you see holes in stories like that, when you see fishy stuff, that's a red flag. That's letting you know that there's more to this story than what they're trying to make it out to be. Also, that third degree of Pisces, that could be a drug study carried out maybe by a university or just a team of scientists. But again, if you were talking about a team of scientists, usually they're connected with a university. And some of these universities, especially these Ivy League schools like Yale and Harvard and Brown, they are on some dark shit with some of their experiments. So the third degree of Pisces can also deal with being very religiously devout. Remember I said Pisces is a devout sign, being Pisces, this being pious. This also represents his Bible. He was always studying the Bible. Why open to suggestion? So when you have Mercury at the third degree of Pisces, you're very impressionable. You're very wide open to suggestion. People can put thoughts in your head and influence you to do things. And with that Mercury at the third degree of Pisces, that's like having a wide open door to the spirit world. So that can make it easy for him to hear voices. His mother said that he had some mental health problem. So he was a natural candidate, natural Manchurian candidate for this kind of experiment. Because again, this hadn't happened before where you see some naked zombie type. And remember, they were pushing the zombie apocalypse, agenda. They have been pushing it for a long time before this thing even happened. Now, beam me up, Scotty. This could be somebody that could be heavily intoxicated to the point where they think they're in another dimension. They're in another world. They're starting to see different types of beings. They're seeing demons at this point. Also, with this, maybe the person can shapeshift, but that can basically deal with the demonic influence, demonic possession. And I'm even thinking that maybe this was like a skinwalker type of serum, shapeshifter again. Or again, it could have been a cocktail of drugs, and somebody even mentioned microchip. So I'm not ruling that out either. Could have been a cocktail of drugs that facilitated his rampage, him becoming a monster. Now, Mars conjunct Mercury, what this can produce on the dark end. This can produce a very aggressive person, somebody that's ultra violent, somebody that's impulsive. Mars conjunct Mercury and Pisces in particular, somebody could fly into blind rage, blacking out. The car theme, so this points to him being in the car, and also the lost Bible. He was looking for his Bible, and that's what made him attack this guy. He claimed the guy had his Bible or something. Now, remember, when it comes to these MK Ultra people, these mind control slaves, they will give them a trigger word. And I believe that Eugene's trigger word was Bible. I believe that's the word that they made that triggered him to act crazy, that basically set him off. So it was a combination of the mind control with the drugs. And again, could have even been the microchip. So yeah, when he's doing this, he's completely blacked out, right? So when I say, if you're not in control of your mind, but you're still walking around, you're still able to do stuff, you're still able to drive a car, who's driving that car? Who's in control? At this point, when he's on the attack, now it's a demon that has taken over. Now he's become a complete demon. And it makes sense why he took off his clothes. Demons don't have no use for clothes. Demons don't have bodies. Why does he need clothes? So this can also deal with maybe the religion, the church that he was going to. Maybe that's how they were recruiting some of these MK Ultra. Because remember, I said demons can be found in the church as well. So he was very religious. He would go to Bible study groups. He even would hold Bible study at the he got shot and he still wasn't the cop had to shoot him multiple times. But I'm gonna read the story. I think I'm gonna have to do part 2, y'all, because I don't think I could get through all of this. I'm getting tired, my back is hurting. Again, participating in a drug experiment, that's what I'm seeing the possibility of. And then actually we can do part 2, because that'll give y'all time to get caught up on this story. Y'all can watch a documentary about it. Y'all can watch some news clippings. Y'all can watch, y'all can pull up the story on a website, and I could be back probably either I could do it Thursday or tomorrow night for part 2. But yeah, I'm getting kind of worn out. I told y'all this week be long. Let's see how long I've been on so far. We're getting close to 4 hours. So I'm gonna have to do part 2, y'all. So I might do one more slide and then just postpone the rest. And I'm sorry, y'all, but yeah, I'm getting kind of worn out. I'm getting thirsty. Yeah. Now, Again, participating in the drug experiment is possible. And this could be the cop's statement about the new drug. So when they were investigating the situation, this cop did say, let me try to find this quote. This cop did mention that it could have been from this new drug, but he didn't make it seem like he was talking about those bath salts. That's the thing. So let me try to find this. Aftermath, inclusive investigation. Let's see. Okay, it says authorities have not necessarily found the negative results conclusive. Here it is. Broward Sheriff Al Lamberti had expressed the belief that some new drug not yet tested for played a role. Nationally noted toxicologist Barry Logan said Eugene's behavior was consistent with bath salts. Okay, it says nationally noted. Know that a lot of these toxicologists, a lot of these experts, they're paid off by the government or they're under the government's control to say what, to basically to promote the official narrative. So you see how this toxicologist said bath salts. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it was just bath salts because you would have seen more of these incidents. Now, you did see some other zombie type of incidents, and I can do case studies on them too, but you would have saw much more of this craziness going on, like the zombie attacks. No, I don't see it being bath salts. I see this being a much heavier drug. It might have been a drug that nobody even knows about. You notice he said, what did he say? He said some new drug not yet tested. Now the toxicologist said bath salt, but that sheriff might be on to something. It might have been an experimental type of drug. Remember Mars conjunct Mercury? That could be that experimental drug that he was under. So yeah. So let's see. So the cop's statement about the new drug, that's Mars in Aquarius, new experimental, and Mercury in Pisces would be the drug. So I definitely believe he was on some heavy shit. And you best believe some whole police forces, some whole police departments are bought and paid or they're under the control. Some police, police, they have their own Mason brotherhood. It's called the Fraternal Order of Police. A lot of police are involved with cover-up stories, even coroners, even medical examiners. So a lot of them are involved. Just look at that. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the Sandy Hook. We're going to have to do the Sandy Hook. Remember that Sandy Hook shooting? We also probably going to get into Columbine. We're going to talk about, because these are some of the conspiracy theories that I have, and other people have conspiracy theories about Sandy Hook. Remember that? Remember Columbine? I don't believe those Columbine boys acted alone. I believe them Columbine boys might have been an experiment as well. The ones that shot up the school. A lot of these high profile crimes, you'd be surprised to find out that they're pre-orchestrated and that they're experiments. And what did I say? What's the whole purpose? Problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic to incite fear. The more you have people in fear, the more you can control people, take away their guns. They've been doing these shootings for a while because they want to get people's guns, because they want people under total control. But the bottom line is, yes, like it says in Ephesians 6:12, and I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I'm going to get off. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And so you got these people in government. They're doing these demons work. They're doing the devil's work. They're doing the demons work. And if you're not a believer, stick with me, because the more I get into this, the more you might become a believer. A lot of the stuff that happens in the world is not random. So yeah. So keep that in mind. I will be back with part 2 because we got to finish this case study dealing with Rudy Eugene, aka the Miami zombie, aka the Causeway Cannibal, because yeah, there's more to this story than what they're putting on to be, than what they're making it out to be. So good night, everyone. Here's my website. If you would like to order a reading, let me know before I log off now. Did I miss anybody with the super chat, Cash App? If I did, Actually, you're going to have to send me an email at this point. So send me an email if I didn't get to your super chat, but I think I got to everybody. If I didn't get to your super chat or your Cash App question, send me an email and I'll answer it via email. Here's my email right here. And again, you need a reading, just go to my website. And some of y'all just sleep with that light on. I might sleep with the light on my damn self. I'm going to be looking behind my shoulder and all types of stuff. But no, I'm used to this stuff. I love it. But yeah, stay safe, everybody. And, just think twice in terms of bringing new people into your life, especially nowadays, because these demons are running wild. Peace, many blessings. And I'll be back either tomorrow night with part 2 or Thursday night. All right, take care, y'all. Love y'all. Bye-bye.